in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices excluded.
This hockey season, before Nicholas Tompkins with Andrew Walker.
Standing ovation comes center. What a moment.
Titan Supply. Your only source for looking, connecting, and products.
Nicholas Tompkins.
TitanSupply.ca.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action.
Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter. Play from Riverside goes to the bumper spot. Wanye Gretz scores! 5 models with return design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Drive and say now.
Calling for it, Harley scores! Let the team in time on ice. Last night.
Saturday is February 18th to 20th. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall Number 2.
Calling for it.
A little twist, and we'll start the
Let the team in.
with the more money they raise for
Let the team in.
the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal on a dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom, too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at The Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Edmonton Mall, Northside, and downtown.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Goes to the bumper spot. Wanye McDavid scores! Power play goal. Connor McDavid. Canada strikes first.
On Sports 1440.
Calling for it, Harley scores! Let the team in time on ice. Last night.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Nicholas Tompkins. Battle testicular cancer. Just one preseason game into the season, had surgery, underwent chemo, and he's making his NBA debut tonight. Standing ovation here at Paycom Center. What a moment.
A little extra brass bonanza for you on a positive Friday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Of course, lots going on in the world of sports today. This weekend, we have Canada currently leading Switzerland 2-1. Connor McDavid, his first goal of the tournament, adds an assist. He has 5 points through 4 periods so far. It's kind of, what did we say yesterday, Cons? The obvious easy goal for me would be Connor McDavid, the guy. Not only that, he's got a big hit in each game. First shift of the first game, and then today behind the net rocks another guy. So McDavid is pretty much doing it all. I don't think anybody should be surprised at all at the level of intensity and just outright skill of Connor McDavid so far for Team Canada. Now, you know what? Hey, they gave up probably maybe a little bit more than they would like, and this Switzerland team is not the Switzerland team you've seen in the past. They don't just sit back and try to shut it down and play straight defense anymore. They will, exchange chances a little bit. They've got some skill. Timo Meier out there, had some big hits himself. Nico Hischier is a pretty good player. Kevin Fiala, need a rider. Like, they obviously don't have the depth of Canada, but they are not a team that just sits back anymore, and they will attack. So it makes it a little bit more fun to watch. And I believe that Switzerland, you get into that medal round in a one-gamer, Switzerland's a team that could surprise some people for sure. So we got lots to talk about. Of course, we'll update you on the goings on. Curling, Canada and Sweden. Who knew curling could be that fiery? Oh, they weren't happy. There was some verbal sparring going on in the game. Oh, it was great. And the men, geez, the defending champs are 0-3. Sweden, they're 0-3. They're the gold medalists last time. And man, we might have to get Mark Kennedy back on. He was giving it to one of the Sweden guys earlier today. I love it. Oh, it was awesome. So I love it, man. This is when you know it's intense. When you got the curlers from Canada and Sweden, two of the maybe the more nicest countries historically, right? And they were going at it. Oh, it was awesome. Erickson and Kennedy were not shying away. And hey, you know what? Game's over. They shake their hands, which is great. But hey, man, this is the Olympics. It means a lot. It's a lot of intensity. The Canadian women losing a tight one to the Americans today. They are now 1-1 for Rachel Homan. So those are kind of the big stories today for Canada thus far. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, where you can get involved in the show. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Casino, sports, live dealer, instance. They got it all, including lottery. And tonight, $50 million up for grabs and 2 max millions on top of that. So good luck at PlayAlberta.ca. On the show today, we will discuss, of course, the Olympics a lot. Also, Jamie Thomas will be by to discuss what are the Jets going to do. And we still don't have a report on Josh Morrissey, but in a weird way, could this be good for the Jets? Like, they're 11 points out of the playoffs. At this stage, you probably want to finish as low as you possibly can. I don't think they're not. I think they're too good, honestly, to get into the top 5 unless they win the lottery. But you don't want to pick 14th or 15th. It's like the worst. So we'll see what they do. Lorianne Munzer will be by. Talk, Canada. This is like the latest since 1992 at the Winter Olympics that we've had to wait for a gold medal. Now, there's still lots of opportunities to go for sure, but it is the medal numbers are all right, but that elusive gold medal. Justin Dunk will be by later on. Kind of recap all of the week of free agency in the CFL. Craig Button will join us at the conclusion of the game. We got Speck, Low Tide, Cam Tate, Wanye Gretz. So we have a busy show for you today. You can always get involved, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Conman, what did you make of the, I don't know how much you watched of Canada, Sweden curling, but that's got to be one of the most intense curling games I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've seen too many intense curling games. It happens occasionally, of course. I love it from Kennedy, though. Hey, he's the vet of this team, Canada, not just curling, the entire team. So he's not going to take that guff from anyone. So I like to see it. Like you said, they shake hands after. It's a gentleman's game, but get fired up a little bit. And, Sweden kind of underachieving at these games as a whole. So
massively,
for them, probably a little bit of anger as well. So yeah, it's not common, but it is something that I don't mind seeing out there on the rink.
Yes. I look at, I don't mind at all. I want intensity. I want emotion. That's what makes sports the best. I think everybody out there should be watching for it, because that's why you watch sports, man. That's why you watch it. Makes it awesome. So, speaking of sports, the NBA, I've noticed it is All-Star Weekend in the NBA, and there's the big talk. Utah gets a big fine for not dressing guys and not playing guys. And I see some people complain, yeah, well, Toronto, it's amazing. Yeah, but Toronto did it last year. Toronto also went 22-21 in their last 43 games. How can you say they were tanking? They were over 500. Now, they had a terrible start to the season, no question. I think they were, remember what they were like 8-30 or 8-31 or something ridiculous like that. So not a good start for them. But what do you make of what they did to the fine for Utah?
Yeah, $500,000 for the Jazz and $100,000 for the Pacers as well. That's a hefty fine for the Jazz, no doubt about it. The Pacers one, it's still so much money, but for them, if you're able to give your guys an extra couple days rest, do they really notice it? Yeah, they do, but it's not that much. So I kind of like it though. I like it for the Utah Jazz. Like that $500,000 to me seems like a way to deter that. I wonder if there's anything else they could do. Do you suspend a player like that, like we've seen in the past for the NHL, if you're going to miss the All-Star game? I think that the league has to do these sort of things to try to get it out of their game, but at the end of the day, I feel like the organizations, if they have to, will just eat the fine.
Yeah, well, you look at Utah right now; they're 18-38. They're they've got the 6th worst record. Like it's going to be hard to catch the Kings, or as Shaq once referred to them, the Queens, as they got the worst record in the NBA, and they got the Wizards 14 wins. Pacers and the Nets each have 15, as do the New Orleans Pelicans. So, there's always I don't know how you avoid teams being bad in every league. You got a 30-team league. Guess what? It's not going. Your bottom teams are going to be your bottom teams. You're going to have some very good teams, and then you're going to have a lot of teams in the middle. This is not new to any sport. Right? I don't know. I'm not sure that the Jazz was that bad in what they did. I don't know. I didn't see it being that that horrific by any stretch. Like you look at the Dallas Mavericks. So the Jazz, they're 3-7 in their last 10. The Mavs are 1-9. You're not really gaining a ton of ground. Sacramento's 0-10. You've actually gained 3 games in your last 10 on the worst team. So,
they beat the Heat in one of those games.
Yes.
And marketing, per the coach, take it for what it's worth, they say he's on a minute limit, trying to keep him healthy. So, yeah, if they were tanking these games and, picking them out after a quarter or whatever,
and they have
a scratch, it could be one thing.
And you have a draft lottery.
Yeah.
So, what do you want here? Teams, if teams want to not play, I don't know. I just don't kind of get it. Look at the odds for the number 1 pick cons are even harder than it is in the NHL. If you're the bottom 3 teams, you got a 14% chance to win the lottery. That's it. 14. So Utah is currently sitting with a 9% chance. Oh, you know what? Let's lose a few more games so we get up to 10.5. I don't know. It seems like a whole much ado about nothing for me, to be honest. I think there's always going to be bad teams. If you had that the worst team got the best player guaranteed, then I could see why. But that's why you put in the draft lottery. So I don't see it being much of an issue for me anyway. So
I'm curious, what if they just said, oh, he was sore, back pain. Does the league take further steps to investigate it? Or it just kind of seems like it's hard to say. And we hear that all the time in sport. A player can very easily get out of something by just saying, oh, I feel like I tweaked something. Why not just say that? Or is that compromising the integrity as well?
Yeah, I think you don't want to have a player lie publicly if you didn't tweak anything, right? It's never good comes from lying.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't. Would you want your kid when they're a kid to lie? No. So I don't think we should be encouraging teams to lie.
If it avoids a $500,000 fine for me, Gregor, I might be okay with it.
Yeah, but I don't think it would. All you got to do is say, did not play. You don't have to give a reason why. There's, but to me, you lie about it, eventually that's going to come back even worse. So we'll see. Hey, guys, I'm really loving the McDavid Canada line. What about McDavid, Wilson, and Hyman? I don't think there's any chance that Washington's trading Tom Wilson. Alex Ovechkin's near the end, but they got some young guys coming up in Washington. They got a lot of good young players. I don't see the Capitals are going Tom Wilson's a unicorn. There's not many guys in the league like him. So I get why you'd want him, but we'll see. Hey, guys, do you think Canada will start their number 3 Kemper against France? Shouldn't be as hard as practice. Then Binnington is the semifinal and the final. Well, there's a quarterfinal first, Brian. So I don't know. Maybe they will, but it's hard to play 3 goalies, man. I'm not Jordan Binnington. If they play on Sunday and they win, which they're going to beat France, let's be honest here, then they got to bye. So now you don't play again until later on. Why would you? I don't see why you'd rush to worry about that. And then Binnington, he's playing one game, and then he's gonna wait and not play until game 4. Like that seems a little odd to me. So kind of see where it goes. But how about it? Did the youngster Celebrini, he's got 2 goals in the tournament now as Canada leads 3-1 as he scored a minute or so ago. And they just, man, he's got a really good release. And interesting, they had McKinnon and McDavid again together. So even when it's best on best, geez, guess that John Cooper's an idiot because he wants to load up his 2 best players sometimes. I'm being somewhat facetious. He doesn't do it a lot, but mixes it up, and it's coming off a power play is why I did it, which is why it's great. Penalty kill, which is why it's great. When I think I would have no problem doing that if I'm Knobloch with Draisaitl and McDavid right after the power play. Makes sense. Get him going. It's good. But man, if you're Macklin Celebrini, imagine that. You're 19 years of age. You played 2 Olympic games. You got 2 Olympic goals. And you're probably just like, this is pretty fun.
Coach is calling your number with McDavid and McKinnon too.
Oh, yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, that would be, I would assume, rather exciting for him. No question about it. So, yeah, that is a fun, I would think a very fun moment, just a whole experience for young Celebrini, and to get to play with all the best players. Like the Sharks are still a little bit ways away from him getting to the playoffs. I definitely don't see it this year, but maybe down the road. Either way, he'll be better player for it for sure. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Jamie Thomas will go in. We'll get an update maybe on Josh Morrissey and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A pizza my heart will certainly do. Nothing says I love you quite like a Papa John's pizza. This Valentine's week, enjoy a special Pizza My Heart thin crust pizza from Papa John's for only $17.99. Check it out at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. We don't want to break your heart, so the pizza arrives uncut. Available for a limited time only. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Ooh, girl, the way you do that thermostat, it really turns me on. Like a heat exchanger, sensual phenomenon. Wanna play your favorite song where we turn the heat on like a legacy of love.
Legacy Heating and Cooling keeps your Valentine sizzling hot. You can afford to shower your Valentine with affection because Legacy offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. And that's how you build your legacy of love. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440. The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
At On the Rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tunes.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
A weekend Valentine's Day calls for something special. Swing by Bunches Flowers for an amazing bouquet that delivers on romance. It's the local choice for affordable luxury that will make their Saturday night perfect. Bunchesflowers.com.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
If you manage or lead a team, join your peers April 14th to 17th at the Banff Management Course. PA Douglas Training invites you to 3 days of immersive leadership development in beautiful Banff, Alberta. Learn how to manage conflict, motivate and influence others, strengthen teamwork and improve productivity. Proudly Canadian, PA Douglas has trained over 150,000 professionals. Registration includes 3 nights at the Banff Springs Hotel, breakfast, select meals, refreshments, and course materials. Register now at padouglas.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Hockeyology. Keep your game sharp all season long at 01. An advanced skating mill, classes to enhance shooting, stick handling, and more. Sign up today at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. As always, brought to you by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game. If you want to try out Alberta's only regulated online gambling website, you can do it at playalberta.ca. And there's odds boosts on every game, of course, due to the Olympics and more. So check it out, playalberta.ca. Time now to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And right now, McDonald's Frank's Red Hot is bringing the heat to some of your favorite McDonald's menu items. Dip into Frank's Red Hot menu, only available at McDonald's for a limited time. As we are joined by Jamie Thomas, Jets reporter, Ground Control podcast host, joins us. JT, how you doing?
Great, man. How are you?
I am pretty good. I guess, do you have an update? I'm sure fans in Winnipeg, while they're loving Team Canada, they're probably like, hey, wait a sec. This is 2 tournaments now. Morrissey's got hurt. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. Well, the last one, before Nations Face-Off, was an illness, right? So he had to miss the championship game. And this one, this one's so secret that you have no idea, right? So not playing today against Switzerland, sitting in the stands with Brad Marchand and Jordan Binnington. So, I mean, if you're watching him in the stands, it looks like he's okay there, but still no real update about what his status will be for the rest of the tournament. So we're all holding our breath. You're thinking about him as a Winnipeg Jet, but I also think of him as a human being, the opportunity for him to play for Canada at the Olympics. He literally said before they left, he never thought he'd ever be an Olympian, because considering with where the status was with the NHL and the NHLPA in terms of being able to play international events again. So obviously very excited to go over there, and obviously excited to play for Canada again, but to have that taken away for whatever's going on here would be really unfortunate. So crossing my fingers for Josh Morrissey. This is not a long-term injury for this tournament at all.
Oh God, no, it'd be brutal. In a weird way, though, like if you want a high pick, sometimes you need a lot of kind of bad things to happen to your team, right? Like when Edmonton in 2010 got Taylor Hall, they didn't plan that season that way, but then their starting goalie got hurt, and their best defenseman got hurt, and their best forward got hurt, and then their second best forward got hurt, and so in a weird way, Morrissey's injury with the Jets being 11 points out might actually help them.
Yeah, like I mean, like if don't let anybody from the Jets hear me say this, but it would, you're always kind of wondering what else could possibly go wrong this year. And I mean, you've already had Connor Hellebuck leave for surgery on his knee, missed 13 games, obviously didn't go very well. The big guys are providing a lot of offense. Gabe Velarde, Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, all having good years. But man, like I don't really know what else could really possibly go wrong. I think the last thing they really want to see is Josh Morrissey be gone for the rest of the year. As we know, a lot of owners holding their breaths and coaches and general managers while the Olympics are going on, that nobody else gets hurt. But Jason, like just that would just probably be, if he's hurt, it would just be like, okay, what else? Like, what else could you possibly throw at them this year to give you an indication that this is just not it? So I can imagine Kevin Cheveldayoff and the management staff and pro scouts trying to figure out what else they can do right now, or what their move is going to be before March 6th. But the way things are looking right now, I think you'd be looking towards next year into the future, because you have 2 drafts coming up in 26 and 27. You don't have a second round and fourth round pick. And I've said this many times, you're a draft and develop organization. You clearly need picks to restock the cupboards with. So this probably is the year to do just that with some veteran players you could probably move along from.
Well, yeah, you look at those veteran players. Do you see any that you think are, like obvious potential trade candidates?
Well, I mean, no one wants to hear it, but isn't it the most obvious one, Logan Stanley right now? Yeah. I mean, his stock is never going to be higher, and I'm thrilled for Logan Stanley. Right, this is since being a first round pick. It goes to show you how quickly things can change in the National Hockey League, because he was that one guy that Jets fans like to get on and complain about. Although a lot of it was the fact he just couldn't stay healthy. And when you can't stay healthy, you can't stay in the lineup, and you can't, get into a rhythm, which is clearly what you need to do. And this year he's found stability and has been tremendous. And then now, a guy that everybody was grumbling about, every time Logan Stanley touches the puck at Canada Life Center, the place goes bonkers. Like it's incredible, and it's great to see, from a human perspective. And I think he clearly understands, how fleeting this all can be. But to me, that's like a guy, I'd hate to move on from him and such like. But this is almost the perfect time. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Can you afford to pay him more than $4 million a year? As maybe a 5-6 defenseman, maybe top 4. It's hard to decide, but those slots are pretty much filled already. So that one almost too much makes sense. Vlad Nemestikov, although you have another year with him, it would be a great addition somewhere else, but it loves being here. Sometimes I think Niederreiter could do well with a change of scenery as well, because the Jets' third line, which they have lived off of in terms of this is the team that sets the standard, or the line that sets the standard. And I know Mason Appleton is in Detroit right now, but the Adam Lowry, Niederreiter, and whoever they throw on the other side, it's not working right now. So they haven't been that dominant third line that we've become so accustomed to seeing. And a lot has to do with Adam Lowry's not at the place where he was, thanks to offseason hip surgery, just starting to get up to speed here. And I think possibly you could get Niederreiter would fit in somewhere perfectly for any playoff drive as a veteran player that has been there before, goes to the net, plays hard, all that stuff like that. I don't have to tell Oiler fans what you can get from that. But so that there's stuff like that you could, from veteran players, that could be great in the dressing room, have experienced playoffs. That's the type of decision that Kevin Cheveldayoff has in front of him. But not having a second and fourth in the next 2 drafts is a lot for them not to have. So we'll have to see how this all shakes out. But I highly doubt that this team is going to make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure that they understand that that it's a tall task with the amount of time they just can't. You're gonna have to win 75% of your games, and
Yeah.
it's
No.
like, I mean,
It's not
like
happening.
I drink the blue. Hey, you know me, I drink the blue Kool-Aid as much as anybody. As a guy gets paid by True North, but reality is sitting in the face that this is not the year for you.
No, it's not. And now it's interesting going back to Logan Stanley, because the one thing I look at the Jets is when you watch their team and you look at their team and say, hey, what's the one area that's a little, we don't have a ton of size on the back end. And now a guy who you've developed, who's emerging as, and it's not surprising that maybe it took him a little bit longer because of his size. He wouldn't be the first big man in the NHL that, took a little bit longer to kind of find his bearings in the NHL. And you know what? Like, I don't know what kind of contract, but even at $4 million, I think he's worth it because he's big. Now he's adding some offense. Like Scheifele and those guys rave about his skill set. Like, to me, this seems like a guy I'd rather sign.
Right. And here's the other thing too, like Craig Heisinger, who I talk to all the time, the assistant general manager of the Jets and general manager of the Manitoba Moose, is like, he consistently told me all the time, you can't teach size.
Yeah.
And I mean, here's the thing. Logan Stanley totally understands how patient the organization has been with him to get where he is right now.
Yeah.
So there's loyalty there. Do you want to give up on somebody with the size? And you're right. You have Josh Morris, you have Neil Pionk, you have Dylan DeMello, not exactly the biggest in terms of size on your back end. So it is, and you're not like outside of Elias Salomonson, nobody else is coming up from the Manitoba Moose. Like that's a guy I'd also take a long look at, over the last few months here of the regular season on the back end. But you don't have anybody else of size. And I can't even think of anybody in terms of draft picks that they have right now in the prospect pool. So you are absolutely right. So what did they decide to do here? Do you pay him that? We're going to have to wait and see. But man, his stock is going up like crazy, and you can't tell me there's not NHL teams that would love to add that at the deadline right now. That's the big thing I think for Kevin Sheville. They have to decide. But he is as patient and as, holds his cards as close to his chest as anybody in the league. So it's really hard to get a sense of what he's feeling right now ahead of the trade deadline as we wait for the Olympics to end.
Yeah, like I look at Logan Stanley. I'm not just trading him for even a first rounder. I don't think a late first rounder gives me the same value of what Logan Stanley could be, because the Jets aren't in a rebuild. Right, like they got their star goalie, they got Scheifele, just signed Kyle Connor, Gabe Velarde. You've got all your guys.
Gabe Velarde's extended, Neil Pionk's extended. Like your core group is a lot of teams would love to have. So you're right. And here, like Jets fans want to tank and get in the top 5, but the more draft experts I've talked to is like nobody is coming into the NHL next year to help you right now, outside of Gavin McKenna. So that remains to be seen how that all turns out. But that would be. You'd have to really go down into the pooper to get a shot at Gavin McKenna and to have anybody in their lineup like that. So that's where where you have to look at now is like Brad Lambert, who has not lived up to expectations flat out as a first round draft pick for the Jets. But is this not the time now to see to give him a long extended look at this time of the year would probably be beneficial for both him and the team to decide what they have, because Brad Lambert should have been, and I'm just speaking for myself here. He probably was the guy that was supposed to fill in for Nikolai Ehlers when when they decided that they weren't going to try to keep, or, he wasn't going to stay. So, and he's behind in that aspect. So you got to get a look at him. What do you have in Nikita Chibrikov? Like I can go down the list of guys that they should probably get a look at here down the stretch run. But the big question mark is, what do you do about Logan Stanley? And that's going to be answered here in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see what they do.
There's a lot of home games here too, buddy. Like they play 8 games in a row at home in March.
Yeah.
Like where are you? Like how are you selling tickets at that time of year? If you're not, like, there's got to be some kind of plan, and I can imagine that more than ever, there's a lot of pressure on this organization about what they're going to do, because there's a lot of home games. There's a lot of games, period, over the last month and a half of the regular season. And then you got to get butts in the seats at that time.
Yes. Looking at another defenseman who I think is probably an obvious one to get traded is Luke Schenn. And there's a guy that might get you one of those 4th rounders that you were talking about. So
agreed.
I think, veteran defenseman with playoff experience, are
block
always
shots that are very, very like he's very physical. Like that's the thing. Like that's funny how that one blanks on me the most of all those guys I just talked about. But that's the obvious one. That they can move out and will get you something back. But Kevin Shoveldale said that as last minute availability. They're paying the price now for going for so many Stanley Cups in a row by getting rid of a lot of their future by trying to win the Stanley Cup. So and as I said, draft and develop. It's a slippery slope for them because you have to try and win, but you also have to look at the future as well. And that's we saw how this team drafted and developed and what they are now. What are you going to do about that down the road here?
Jamie Thomas joins us. JT, how's Jagger looked?
He like it's a classic case, Jason, of first year in the American Hockey League playing against men. Like it's up and down. Like Colby Barlow, same story too, right? Of another first round pick, scored a ton of goals in the Ontario Hockey League, but it has quickly found out it's not that easy in the American League too. So like to me, Jager's 2 years away.
Okay.
So he needs some more seasoning, and I think that's totally fair, and not only for him and for the organization. So. In their continued search of having a consistent number 2 center, wouldn't that be lovely if he would fit? If he could slot in a couple of years, because clearly since the departure of Brian Little, they've had to trade, they've had to give up a lot of their future to try and fit in a number 2 center here in Winnipeg. But Jager's moving along nicely, smart kid, great kid. The Moose much better this year with the graduation of a lot of their draft picks into the American Hockey League. So. The future is bright that way, but it's just not quick enough yet, in the eyes of maybe next year and filling those slots.
And looking at the Jets where, hey, when you give up that many picks, it's going to be hard to get any elite guys in the minors. I think Edmonton fans see that. The Oilers have had a strategy. We're seeing, Szymanski's playing for Germany at the Olympics and was actually playing on Draisaitl's top wing, and they went out and got Hudson. Like they've brought some prospects that are 22 and 23 that were free agents in NCAA in Europe. And I look at Winnipeg, and they kind of got to go down the same path here if they wanted to try to find some diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they've done a great job over the years finding those kind of players to play in the American Hockey League. But are they going to be the guys that can step into the national? Like Walker Duehr comes to mind. Like he's had a really good year with the Moose. That's a guy that you could slot in maybe on your bottom 6. But here's the thing. The bottom 6 on the Jets is going to look a lot different next year. No question about that than it has in the last couple of years. I mean, Morgan Barron's clearly going to be a big part of that. And you have to wonder at one time if he's going to be a centerman, consistently on the 4th line or slotting in that 3rd line beside Adam Lowry and whoever, if it's Nino Niederreiter or whoever remains around at that point. So it is going to be very interesting around here. What the future is going to look like going into next season, and certainly in the immediate future of what they're going to do. But, like you said, Luke Schen's probably the most obvious choice of who's going to be moving along here. But, man, I think you could totally get something for Nino Niederreiter, as great as a player as he has been, and a great Winnipeg Jet, and clearly likes being here. But, these are things that we have to the decisions that have to be made here before March 6th.
JT, it'll be interesting to watch, man. Enjoy the Olympics. Hopefully, for Josh Morrissey's sake and Canada's sake, he gets back into the tournament, because that would be brutal to have to miss out in 2.
Yeah, like I mean, here's another thing too. It's not only for him, but Canada needs him. Like he's an unbelievable player, and I really love the chemistry between him and Colton Parayko. And it's no question that the depth is being tested for Canada right now, but as a human being, I would love to see Josh Morrissey find his way health-wise back into the Canada's lineup for the middle round and so on and so forth.
Awesome, JT. Great to catch up with you, buddy. We will chat with you again soon.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Talk to you soon, man.
There you go. That's Jamie Thomas joining us from Winnipeg. Yeah, so now Morrissey was in the crowd. He's sitting up there with Marchand and a few of the other guys. I guess the only other guys, Binnington, the 3 of them are watching the game. And Canada and Switzerland entertaining game. A few penalties in this middle frame, and Canada's has had a few power play opportunities. And Tom Wilson's out there hammering a few guys. And McDavid's had a big hit early in the game. If you missed it, McDavid had a goal and assist in the first period. Mackin Celebrini has scored for the 2nd consecutive game. There's a little bit of line juggling in the 2nd period. John Cooper has moved McKinnon up with Celebrini and McDavid. That's 3 of the top 4 scorers in the NHL on the same line. Not bad. And they've moved Wilson with Hagel and put Nick Suzuki in the middle. Nick Suzuki didn't look overly comfortable, and I get it. I'd love to know when the last time Nick Suzuki played wing was. He looked like a little out of sorts, missed a few assignments in the first period. So I wonder how much the change is like, hey, this gets Suzuki back comfortable and it makes our top line even a little bit more dangerous. Let's try it out. Why not? If you're John Cooper, this whole tournament's about experimenting and looking at some different things. McDavid and McKinnon have combined and connected on the power play quite well. So why not try them on 5-on-5? Now they do have one goal already, right? Celebrini scored. So not a bad decision for the coach I guess it's not just Knobloch who loads up his two best forwards sometimes. And Knobloch doesn't have a fourth line or a third line that has Sidney Crosby and the likes of all those other guys on it. So, you know what? Hey, when you're there to win, coach is going to go sometimes with, hey, who gives us the best chance? And away you go. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Lorianne Munzer will join us, donning her, is that like a special Team Canada outfit? We'll have to find out when we return next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for lovers. Because the best aphrodisiac is no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace from Legacy. So forget about the oysters, baby. If you really want to check the heat, we can be a thermal couple, baby. Give me your sweet loving legacy. Heat things up with no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A pizza my heart will certainly do. Nothing says I love you quite like a Papa John's pizza. This Valentine's week, enjoy a special Pizza My Heart thin cuts pizza from Papa John's for only $17.99. Check it out at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. We don't want to break your heart, so the pizza arrives uncut. Available for a limited time only. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
If you manage or lead a team, join your peers April 14th to 17th at the Banff Management Course. PA Douglas Training invites you to 3 days of immersive leadership development in beautiful Banff, Alberta. Learn how to manage conflict, motivate and influence others, strengthen teamwork and improve productivity. Proudly Canadian, PA Douglas has trained over 150,000 professionals. Registration includes 3 nights at the Banff Springs Hotel, breakfast, select meals, refreshments and course materials. Register now at padouglas.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and even though it's a few months past Thanksgiving, I want to give thanks right now. This is the time of year when so many people go to the new RV show and buy their new RVs.
All the new RV stores are bragging about the latest makes and models.
That's right, Bob. Those beautiful state-of-the-art RVs are brand new right up until the time they leave the showroom. Then they're used. Just like every quality used RV on our lot, somebody pays full price at the RV show or at the new RV store, and in a matter of seconds, it's worth tens of thousands of dollars less just because they picked it up.
Where does all that money go, Rick?
It stays in our customers' pockets, Bob, because we sell those same RVs just a few years later. If it wasn't for new RV buyers, we'd be out of business. That's why we give thanks every year. You make it all possible.
And that's no bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Team Canada is finally back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
This is Sport 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
2:44. We continue on. Pause of Friday. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely day. Logan Thompson made his biggest save of the game so far is after Canada power play. Switzerland came down the ice 2-on-1. Kurashev ripped one and nice high glove stop short side from Thompson. So, which. Usually, I think as a shooter, you're not expecting the glove hand. He's probably shooting short side high there because that's usually the blocker, right? Because Thompson, of course, catches with his right hand. And I do know that a lot of people, a lot of shooters, you're used to most goalies catch with their left hand. And so a lot of times you're coming down, just a natural habit is you'd think that upstairs short side and the blocker is a little bit easier to beat. But Thompson flashes the leather. He's made a few good stops today. So, and Celebrini had another really good chance. That McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini line has looked pretty good together. McDavid with 2 points. McDavid ties the NHL, and I say NHL, Olympic record for most points for the first 2 games, which is 5. So if he gets a point, he would then sit on his own at 6 through the first 2 games of the tourney. So we'll see where it goes. Now, let's get In the Mind, brought to you by Action Electrical, one of Alberta's most diversified electrical contractors with 4 divisions in project service testing and solar. In the projects division, they handle design, build, switchgear replacements, new construction, and renovations. It's actionelectrical.net. As Olympic gold medalist Lorianne Munzer joins us once again. Now, is that from the archives, what you're wearing there? Is that an old school or is this new?
The red sweatshirt is new.
Oh,
so
okay.
When I was in the Olympics, the sponsor was Roots, and now Lululemon. This is a Mondetta from 2026. I have a blue one, and I have the Canadian red. So Fridays is Canadian red.
There you go. Now, do you have like the gear you got as a member of the 2 Olympic teams?
Absolutely.
Do you ever wear it?
Sometimes for special events, like especially with school kids.
Now, what is it? What is the Roots gear that you had when you participated?
It was really cool. It was really cool, really functional. We had shorts. We had longer kind of sweat track pants, but not your typical one. It was more dress. I had a red pair. I had a white pair. There were tank tops. We had backpacks. Like we had everything.
Hats? Did you have hats?
Yes, we had hats.
Okay.
I think there was 1 or 2. They were red. And those kind of got traded in the Olympic Village.
Oh, yeah.
When you come into the village, I don't know what it is now, but you pre-select your size for all of the clothing, like from coats to jackets to rainwear.
So before you got there?
Yes.
Okay.
Like once you're selected, then you get to choose what your size is, because otherwise then it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Yeah.
They actually had a tailor on site, and I knew the guy and his wife. They did a number of Olympics.
Okay.
So if if the clothing didn't fit you, you could actually go and get it
tailored.
a little bit more fitted, and they worked their magic. Like it was crazy how good they were, and it was just you come into your room in the village where you were, and at the foot of your bed was this big suitcase, and it was like Christmas, Jason. Did
you get to keep the suitcase too?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I have that or if it got used and it just kind of got obliterated.
Yeah.
I still have a suit bag from the 1998 Commonwealth Games. That was my very first games.
Okay.
And I pull out stuff every once in a while. And, some of the kids sometimes love the show and tell. Is this real? And it is. And it changes from Olympic to Olympic.
Well, yeah, that's what's unique. Like if you're a multi-time Olympian, you're going to get, lots of different opportunities. And, like you look at like Kingsbury, he's the first ever Olympian to medal in 4 straight in moguls in 4 straight Olympics. Pretty impressive. But he'll have a different, different piece of multiples from each year.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I could just, you almost need for him, he would need like an own special closet in his house that just has his Olympic attire. And maybe now, like when you go to the World Championships, did you also get Canadian clothing for that, or is it only Olympics?
No, it was Commonwealth Games, Pan Am Games, Olympics. You would get a jersey if you were world champion. So there's certain colors. There's blue, black, red, yellow, and green are the Olympic stripes.
Yes.
And there's one color that shifts if you're world champion. So instead of being blue, red, black, green, and yellow, it's blue, black, red. It just changes. There's just a slight shift. So if you have the white jersey,
you were an Olympic gold medalist. Were you world champion too?
No, I wasn't. In 2002, I was taking a run at it, and I got really sick. I was sick at the Commonwealth Games, and then about 6 weeks later, we were in Quito, Ecuador, and my appendix was
burst.
Unhappy. It didn't burst in Quito, thank God. It burst the day after I came home.
Okay.
Yeah, thank goodness for U of A.
Yeah. So obviously, like a world champion would be great for sure, but Olympic gold medalist, if you have to pick one or the other, I think everybody knows what everybody's picking because there is a world champion every year. There's only an Olympic champion every 4 years.
Yeah, but not every sport has
world championships.
Olympic games. Like not every sport is in the Olympics.
Yes.
So sometimes
a
for that
world champion, yes.
the World Championships is like the big pinnacle, and it only lasts 1 year, whereas the cycle for Olympians is every 4 years.
Yeah. So no, it's a big deal.
No
question about it. Looking at now, when you're in the village, and when you competed very quick. Like, wasn't it like the first 3 days, or were you later?
I went in about 4 or 5 days in Athens.
So had somebody won a gold before you won yours that year?
I was the first female.
Okay.
Which most people don't know. And I was the third Olympian. Kyle Schufelt in gymnastics was the first.
Oh, okay.
Adam Van Couverden was second, and I was third.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but the first female.
But when you after you win, you have your ceremony, but what is it like when you come back into the Olympic Village as a gold medalist?
Well, I don't know. It was 3:00 in the morning. It was pretty quiet.
Okay.
We had gone down to CBC, who was covering it.
Right.
Got the whole tour.
Why 3 a.m?
Oh my gosh. Do you know how big Athens, Greece is? It is sprawling. And I have no idea where the velodrome was in relation to the CBC studios.
Okay.
And I have no idea where the CBC studios was in relation to the Olympic Village. And I didn't even have a beer or a glass of wine to celebrate afterwards because everything was closed. And it was just...
Oh, so your event was one of the later ones in the day.
It was in the late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah.
So then we had the semifinals, then we had a short break, and then we had the finals. And then, of course, you have the ceremonies, the podium ceremony. Then you have to go and pee in the bottle.
Now, because sometimes I know at certain Olympics at different times, depending on when they won, some people would have to wait to have like you knew you won.
Yes.
But you get your medal ceremony the next day.
No.
Yeah.
That's typically more the Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Summer Olympics
It's always the same day. Okay.
Shortly after.
Okay.
So there was like right after we raced was the podium, the medal celebration, then doping control, pee in the bottle. And then there was a press conference. So that was really interesting too, because it's just like, I had no idea that happened. There was a guy out of the corner of my eye, Jason, I could see, and I'm going, when you see somebody and you go, I know you from somewhere. And I'm looking over, got distracted, had to ask the reporters for the question. After I finished, I walked over and I said, please tell me your name. He said, Steve Podborski. I went, Crazy Canucks, standing in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know you. And that's why I know you. And it was just so cool. It was such a great moment. And one of the pieces, talking about pieces of Olympic history that I have, was the Canadian sign that was on the velodrome door where we stored all of our equipment.
Okay.
And I said, that's mine. That's coming home. I still have it. I look at it every day and I just go, wow.
Really?
That was a cool experience. And it's just this piece of, I don't know, it's not plexiglass, but it's a special piece of plastic.
Mhm.
And it was just one of those markers that was like, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And the reason I was asking about, because this is the latest in the Winter Olympics that Canada's been waiting for a gold since 1992 in Albertville. And I wonder if that's almost more pressure, or is it more excitement for someone who's like, hey, I could be the first gold medalist here for our country? Because there is, hey, we have 7 medals. It's great. And you win a medal, it's a big deal. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But it's slightly a bigger deal when you win the gold. It just is.
Totally. I mean, gold is just what every athlete aspires to, whether you say it out loud or you keep it inside. And sometimes you might be thinking about it going, hey, that'd be really cool. But also, too, I think sometimes Canadians are, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say it out loud. And it's just one of those things. You go on the mission that you're on and you go to produce.
Yeah. What anything stood out for you so far?
I love those speed skaters, man. The short 500 meters, the 1,000 for the guys. It's just crazy. It's roller derby, but on ice skates, but long blades. And it's just the bump and the dumping that goes on. It is so technical. It is so precise. And there's no room for error. And sometimes it's just luck of the draw of being in the right place at the right time, crossing over.
Michael Kingsbury has won silver, gold, silver, 4 straight Olympics. And he actually tied, and then they went to a tiebreaker on the technical scores, and he lost by a little bit of, I think it was 0.02 or 0.2, something like that. But as an athlete, you've won. And I loved his post-race. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm very happy. Obviously, you want to get on the podium, but you can't get any closer to winning a gold than that. Literally, right? It was a tie. And then they had to go to the technical. But I'd kind of be curious to see, now he still has another event, and how quickly you got to put that away, rather than think geez, if I would have just done this one thing, I think you drive yourself crazy. You just have to find a way to move on.
You would. I think one of the assets that he has, he's a dad. And one of the best things he said was, when he goes home, when he's finished competing, he gets to become a dad. And that's full on. I think that is going to be one of his biggest gifts and one of his bounce back. You can sit in it and replay it, Jason. He has a second opportunity versus a second chance. And I think that's probably one of the mindset ways he's going to go into it. And it's just, okay, where can I tweak it and raise the bar just a little bit more than what I did before in the first run or the last run of his event? And, we're not all given second opportunities. So let's see what you got.
Yeah, no, that's true. And speaking of opportunities, young Steven Gogolev, the figure skater, he was 10th going into the long program. He had the second best skate today in the long program. He's moved up to 5th. And one of the favorites, Ilya Malinin, just finished for the USA. And man, he fell all over the ice. So I don't know what his score is going to look like, but he sure ain't going to win. The Kazakhstanian, I think for sure, Shirorov is likely going to win once they post the scores of everything. But you look at it at a young athlete, I know you talked a lot about that first time through the Olympics, and even Nathan McKinnon, who's won a Stanley Cup and played in big events. He said his first game, he's like, God, I couldn't even sleep before the game, right? I was nervous in the first period, and it takes a while. I remember you talking about your first one, how you're just God, I was out before I was in almost, right? And you have to learn from it. And the harsh truth is when you get to that, some people do okay in their first time for sure. But when you get to the second time, now you're just okay, I better be ready now.
Oh, absolutely. And the best part about the second time or the third time or the fourth time, you've had that experience. And that's one of the best mindset exercises I do with athletes is, okay, if this is your first time, go find somebody who's been there, get them to tell you about their experiences, and then you construct your own story. So then when your mind is going, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? You've got a bit of a screenplay going on. And when the mind has something that's familiar, it doesn't go into panic mode as quick. It will go if you're not careful, but it gives you that moment of going, okay, I've been here before. whether it's just mentally, because your mind does not know if you've created it in your imagination or if it's actually real, because we make up stuff all the time. We typically go the negative route, but when you write it the way that you want it to go, possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lastly, as we get into the second week here of the Olympics, officially starts tomorrow. And, there's still lots of, because, we've had texts coming in, are we ever going to win gold? There's still lots of opportunities for Canada to win gold in curling and speed skating. And obviously we're just talking about Kingsbury and such. And, he mentioned, like, when you won gold, did you know for sure that you weren't ever coming back? Like, for 4 years? Like, did you know that when you left that Olympics, that was your last Olympics?
I never thought about it.
No?
I never thought about
okay.
it. I was flying high, Jason.
Yeah.
I was on just like this euphoria of going, holy moly. Yeah, it was just one of those things. Never even thought about
I just
it.
asked that because, Kingsbury's been around for 4 and he talked about, it's probably my last one. Like, for some athletes, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And I wonder if that'd be good or bad at the time, like, to know, right? So
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think making the announcement is different for each athlete. Sometimes you want to hold it back. It's wait until you get home and things have settled a little bit. You're a little bit more clear-headed, and go out and make your own plan versus the plan you think everybody else wants you to do. That's what I did. And if I could do anything over again, Jason, I would have planned out what it looked like when I won, from the moment I crossed the finish line to the following year after, because I was on a treadmill. I was going here, I was going there. And it's not a bad thing, but I didn't put the time and the thinking into it. I probably should have taken a holiday for a week and just like disappeared, just so I could collect my thoughts and go, so Munzer, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it?
Yeah. No,
and I never did.
Well, one of the probably one of the bigger surprises maybe comes in the men's figure skating, as from Kazakhstan, Mikhail Shodorov. He's the winner, and his free skate was 198, and the second best free skate was Gogolev from Canada, and he was 186. Like, anybody who's a figure skating fan, when you get home tonight, watch Shodorov. Watch his skate. It was amazing, like almost perfect. Yeah, it was phenomenal skate. So kudos to him. I always like to see kind of a surprise like that. You know what? Like, obviously, he was good. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's one of the top 10 skaters, top 5 skaters in the world. But I'm not sure a lot of people thought he was going to go from 5th all the way to 1st to win.
Yeah, but that's what we've talked about, is the mindset is the maker or the breaker. And it's 95% mental. Who holds it together best, who puts it together best, and then who goes out and lets it all go, because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about it, you're probably going to fall, that sort of thing. But it's just, you got to let it go and just let it go as it's supposed to go.
Yeah. Well, Ariane, enjoy the second week of the Olympics, and we will chat with you next Friday.
Absolutely. Take care.
There you go. That's Lorianne Munzer. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by meals.loca.ca. Every fresh chef-crafted meal is handcrafted from scratch with fresh ingredients and arrives at your door fully cooked and ready to eat, heat, and repeat. You can order and they'll deliver right to your door. Meals.loca.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Over in Italy, men's ice hockey, after 40 minutes, Canada leads Switzerland 3-1. Elsewhere, Czechs double up France 6-3, was Finland beating rival 4-1, and host Italy falling to Slovakia 3-2. Tomorrow at 8:40 a.m., the Canadian women taking on Germany in quarterfinal action. In curling, the men of Canada improved to 3-0 in the evening with an 8-6 win over defending champion Sweden. And earlier in the day, they beat the Americans 6-3. Up next will be Switzerland Saturday. On the flip side, the Canadian women falling to the United States by a score of 9-8. They'll meet Great Britain tomorrow morning. In the WHL, Oil Kings head to Calgary tonight, taking on the Hitmen. Puck drop at 7. The teams will do it again tomorrow night here in Edmonton. In the BCHL, Spruce Grove on the road in Vernon, while the Crusaders head to Blackbelt. In the AJ4 games, including Olds hosting Bonneville, Whiteford in Grand Prairie, and here in the city, Golden Bears taking on McEwen in a home-and-home tonight down at the Drake. The Pandas, Griffins doing the same thing, but they'll play at the DCA this evening, and the local volleyball programs meeting down at the Saddle Center tonight at 6. Tomorrow gets going at 5. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host Wanye Gretz of Oilers Nation. We'll talk some CFL with Justin Duncan, 3 Down Nation, and recap the date in Italy. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A pizza my heart will certainly do. Nothing says I love you quite like a Papa John's pizza. This Valentine's week, enjoy a special Pizza My Heart thin crust pizza from Papa John's for only $17.99. Check it out at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. We don't want to break your heart, so the pizza arrives uncut. Available for a limited time only. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Ooh, girl, the way you touch that thermostat, it really turns me on. Like a heat exchanger, sensual phenomenon. Wanna play your favorite song when we turn the heating on like a legacy of love. Legacy Heating and Cooling keeps your Valentine sizzling hot. You can afford to shower your Valentine with affection because Legacy offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. And that's how you build.
Hello, Electric Brass. How are you?
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
On the Rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tune.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're on the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal in the dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom, too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at the Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out the Brick in South Common, West Ed Mall, Northside, and downtown.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Continue on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. What a wild, if you're a figure skating fan, you're going to want to check out the men's free skate today. It was absolutely wild. Lots of movement from first to second, 10th, all the way up to guys winning. So it was fantastic. The young Canadian Gogolev, he came in, he was 10th after the short skate. He had the second best free skate, moved all the way up to 5th place in his first Olympics. So with a career best score. So he was pretty fired up, and it's a great experience for him. Canadian men in hockey are leading Switzerland 3-1 as the third period is a few minutes old. Connor McDavid, goal and an assist in the first period. It was on the ice for the other goal, which is Mackin Celebrini from their new line mate, Nathan McKinnon, as McKinnon, Celebrini, and McDavid were a line in the second period. Not bad loading it up. Why not? When you got 3 of the top 4 leading scorers in the NHL, top 3 Canadian scorers, go for it. Because you know what? You got a lot of depth after them. Oh, geez, wow, we're putting McDavid with McKinnon. Well, who else can we send out? Oh, Sidney Crosby. Oh, okay. Who else? Well, Nick Suzuki's got like 65 points. Oh, that's not bad. And how many 25-goal scorers? Oh, Mark Stone. Then you go to Reinhart and down the list. They got a lot of offense, so it's not much of an issue. But I will say, buddy, the Swiss are not going away. They have, the shots. I don't know if that reflects like Logan Thompson's been really good in goal this game for Canada. He's made some key saves for them. Now, Canada's had some great chances and missed on 2, but, Canada's been the better team, no question. But I will say that, the Swiss, like I said, I thought at the start of the tournament, there's a team that could, would I be stunned to maybe see Switzerland as a team, now they have to somehow finish 4th, 5th, or 6th, right? So they'll have to finish second in their pool, and it's based, and which is possible. They'd have to beat Czechia, because if they do that, then they're not going to have to face Canada, the U.S. until the semifinal. And could they beat Czechia or Slovakia or Finland or Sweden in a quarterfinal matchup? Damn straight they could. So I think once we get to the qualifying round, it's going to be pretty entertaining. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. As we welcome to the show, Wanye Gretz. Wanye, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I haven't been able to watch the game. Was the McDavid goal sweet? Was the Apple sweet too? Like, what were we dealing with here?
Yeah, like not crazy plays, but just, typical McDavid. Pretty solid plays. So, no, he's tied the record for most points in the first 2 games during the NHL Olympics. So, by NHL players with 5 points. So, if he gets a point here in the third period, that'd be the most points ever since 98 by anybody in their first 2 games. So, not bad.
Not bad at all. It blows my mind to think about what we've missed by him not being able to be in the Olympics for the last while, right? Like, these would have been prime Olympic Connor performances had he been allowed. We're so lucky at least to get to see this.
Yeah, I think, well, you say that about all the guys, and I think most fans, 2018, 2022, sure. Would you have liked to see them there? Yeah, 100%. 22, I get it because of the COVID one. 2018 still the one that I think was a big screw up by both sides, to be honest. So, although I will say, like, and you were talking about here, the Olympics and their, it's like they don't understand how the young generation absorbs and follows things. If you can't, like, if you can't share clips and different things, you're losing a lot of interest from people.
Absolutely. And especially in such a highlight driven world, right? Where you've got like the aerial skiing or something that's such an amazing highlight. As the Olympic Committee, you should want this stuff out there being shared.
Oh God, no question you should. So we'll see how it goes. But we got a lot of text line in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, I'm curious what your thoughts are Szymanski's play with Germany and how that will relate to him with the Oilers. Well, it's one game, right? It's one game, so I can't put much stock and say Josh Szymanski's now a guaranteed NHLer because of one game. Now, he played 5 games for the Oilers, and I thought he performed pretty well, in limited time, right? Playing just over around 9.5 minutes per game. So I have no issues with, I think, Szymanski's future. Do I think now, if he stays on Germany's top line, and I don't have any reason to think that he won't, all it's going to do is it's going to raise his confidence, and it will give Stan Bowman and the Oilers to say, okay, like, what are some options here? Maybe we move out a guy. Maybe we think Szymanski can be a guy, because there's not much of a more pressure-packed situation than playing the Olympics. Like the NHL playoffs are big, but they're different than the Olympics because the style of play. But I'm not sold that they're, now I guess if you don't get into a playoff, though you will get to at least one playoff game, the qualifying round for Germany. So that will be good. It's pretty close that, he could experience that. So I don't have much concern that he can handle it, but I don't think that because he plays with Draisaitl on the top line in Germany means that suddenly he's going to be a top 6 forward in the NHL. Like I think we probably have to pump the brakes on that.
I thought it was pretty cool that Leon got to play with his childhood buddy.
Oh, yeah. Well, Leon talked about that even beforehand here in Edmonton, that it was, he was just thrilled to, kind of joked, goes, our moms have been friends. He goes, I've known him since we've been friends since I was minutes old. So yeah, they grew up together. Buddies their whole life and played together all the time. So yeah, that's something sometimes it gets overlooked. Like anybody out there, you have a buddy of yours that, you play hockey with and he goes on to being better than everybody else. And most groups of friends have the one guy or somebody on their team who maybe, went to a little bit, I shouldn't say everybody, but played at a higher level than you. And most friends are super excited about it. But if you ever got some opportunity later on in life to play in a competitive situation again, you'd love it.
It's probably the only downside of being Leon Draisaitl is that it took him away from the German hockey scene at a young age, and he's never been back.
Yeah.
So to be able to recombine now as the highest paid player in the NHL, what a opportunity for everybody to play with him.
No, that would be huge for sure. Hey guys, the ice looks brutal. Puck bounced around everywhere. Did they not give him a quick shovel during the TV timeouts? Well, I've had a few games at the rink today because you got to remember that this is, it's 11:15 there now. Right, like this is a late start tonight over in Germany. So that's later in the day. Maybe that plays a factor in it. I don't know. The pucks bounce in North America all the time. So I don't know. That's just sometimes that's part of the game. It's even for both teams. It's not like, well, the puck's bouncing for us, but it's not bouncing for them. So I don't know. I don't get too fired up about that. But no, I've seen the shovels out. So I think now, I don't know if they have as many TV timeouts, though. I don't think they do. Do they, Connor Halley? I haven't been paying that close attention, but I'm not seeing 3 TV timeouts every period.
No, it doesn't seem to be as driven as the national hockey.
So that could maybe play a small part in it for sure. No doubt.
How many games have they played on this ice today?
Is this the 4th?
4, yeah.
Yeah, it's the 4th.
It'll get chewed up.
Yeah. Chew up a little bit for sure. So, hey, Gregor, what happened to Marchand from KOFN? I think it's back-to-back nights. They want to play Seth Jarvis. Brad Marchand's one of the older players. You just give him a night off. That's probably what I equate this to, right? You're going to get everybody in. Like, look, Darcy Kemper's backing up, right? Binnington's not dressed today, which is fine. So Kemper gets to feel like, you're on the bench. It's a little bit different than being in the crowd. So now everybody's at least being on the bench. Right, they're not going to put Kemper in the game tonight, I wouldn't think. So, and I know we had some people wondering, would you play him against France? They could in theory, but then you'll have, Binnington playing his first game on Thursday, but then not playing again until what they play? Is it Wednesday? They're the quarterfinals start. So now, not that you're not used to that in the NHL. You go 6 days sometimes between starts. It happens, but I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess they probably go back to Binnington. Now, I'll say this. The way Logan Thompson's played, because Binnington got a shutout, he's obviously going to get another start, and then he's playing France, so he's probably not going to get tested a lot. It probably will come down to how he plays in the quarters to see what they do for the semifinal. That's kind of how I view it.
Just quickly, guys, 3 games. Italy, Slovakia was played at a different arena.
Okay.
Smaller one.
Yeah. Okay. So there you have it. 3 games today. Let's take a quick break. Coming up, we are going to talk some free agency on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You know what would be even better than winning gold?
Okay, I'll bite.
Winning a gold medal made of Wilhock beef jerky.
Athletes do get hungry, and they could use a snack on the podium. I think I'll start a petition.
Really?
No. Now pass the Wilhock and turn up the games.
For a truly Canadian snack to cheer on our truly Canadian athletes, you need Wilhock beef jerky.
Made with Alberta pride right here in Leduc.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Zoinks! It's like a totally Great Dane Family Day Oil Kings game.
Monday afternoon, Edmonton looks to foil the schemes of the Lethbridge Hurricanes because it's Scooby-Doo Family Day at Rogers Place.
Your Oil Kings suit up in specialty jerseys right out of the mystery machine. They'll be auctioned and raffled off in support of the Edmonton Oil Kings Education Association.
And Calmont Kids food combos are just $10 or less. Jinkies, that's better value than a box of Scooby snacks.
Oil Kings Scooby-Doo Family Day game, Monday at 2.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
A claims program for harmed Canadians has begun as a result of a landmark tobacco settlement. If you smoked regularly before November 20th, 1998, and were diagnosed with lung cancer, throat cancer, emphysema, or COPD, you may qualify for a significant payment. To learn more, call 888-482-5852 or go to tobaccoclaimscanada.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Course for this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.22, Jason Gregor. Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Sidney Crosby has tied Jerome McGinley for most points by a Canadian. At the Olympics in the NHL era, he scored a goal earlier in the third period. It gives him 14 points. And Canada's starting to run away with this a little bit. Nathan McKinnon gets a goal. That McKinnon And McDavid got an assist on that. So McDavid now sets the record for most points by in the NHL era in the first 2 games. So not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
There you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Lots of free agent talk as we get to our football report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter, legacyheating.ca. Lots of free agent signings became official in the CFL. Some releases, some coaching staffs finalized, and more, as we will talk about all of that as Justin Dunk joins us from 3 Down Nation. And Justin, I guess if you look at the free agent signings, is there one or two that you like best and why?
Yeah, I'll go with one. And to me, it's AJ Allen. And some people might go, oh, how could you say that? Because there's some people out there that feel like Ottawa overpaid to get him. But I feel like he was one of one in this free agency, being a real ratio breaker. So for Ottawa to get him, take him away from Saskatchewan, there were some other suitors as well. Hamilton and Calgary were in the mix. I think that's the one that stands out above the rest for me.
Okay. What did you make of the Elks free agency?
I liked what they did. Ed Hervey continues to show that he's going to invest in the trenches. And if he can, he would like to do that and taking pieces away from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, not just in the trenches, but Taylor Powell coming over there as well. So I really think that Edmonton is building a deep roster here, especially on the offensive line. You look at all the pieces they added, and then that gives them, I suppose, the luxury of making a decision and releasing Martez Ivy, who not too long ago was an all CFL type player.
Yeah, well, they went with a lot of Hamilton guys. What do you make of Carney's contract and Woodmansey's contract?
So let's start with Carney, because I think for both these cases, you have to look at the market as a whole. Malik Carney was the best pass rusher available in a free agent class that did not really have too many of them. Arguably, the next best pass rusher that became available was Habakkuk Baldonado, who was a global with Saskatchewan, who doesn't have Carney's resume or production level yet. There's some great upside there. But for Malik Carney to get $270,000 in hard money from the Edmonton Elks, I think makes sense. And some people, comments I saw on social media talking about Edmonton and Ottawa in particular throwing money around, I don't think they understand that the salary cap has gone up 2 straight seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at a $270,000 contract right now for Malik Carney, it's almost what $240,000 was essentially a couple of years ago. So I don't think it's that big of an overpay. He's a guy that consistently affects the passer. Coming off a career high 8 sacks, his pressure rate is up there, if not the best in the Canadian Football League in terms of disturbing quarterbacks. And then it's almost a similar case for Coulter Woodmansey. He was the proven Canadian that actually made it to free agency from a starting offensive lineman perspective. So that drove his price up to $300,000 in hard money for 2026.
Yeah, and he'll obviously play the guard position. I think it was clear Edmonton needed better O-line play. That's kind of the Captain Obvious statement for them. They wanted more consistent pressure, so they bring in Malik. Some of their young guys I thought finished the season well. I think if Smith can stay healthy, that will help their O-line even more next season. And they also, they got Austin Mack. He's clearly going to come here and be their number one receiver. Now, how dominant do you think he can be as a number one?
I think he has that kind of upside, but honestly, he's got to prove it, right? He showed it in 2023. He was a CFL All-Star that got him a contract with the Atlanta Falcons. The last couple of years, some people that I talked to would describe him as a flash in the pan. He would make some great plays, but he wasn't consistent enough. And I think him getting back with Cody Fajardo can really help Austin Mack become that consistent upper echelon receiver. So I really like the move from Edmonton, especially when it became clear that Keyshawn Johnson had re-signed in Saskatchewan. That was a guy that a lot of teams were eyeing up in terms of if he was going to get to the communication window, making some big offers to him. So when that happened, it made sense for Edmonton to go out and get a guy like Mac who has that relationship with Fajardo. The two won a Grey Cup together, made a whole bunch of plays together, and I think that can help them hit the ground running in Edmonton.
Justin Dung joins us. What do you make of the Curly Gittins signing in Hamilton?
I like it a lot from their perspective. It's a proven Canadian receiver who has been a CFL All-Star in the CFL before in 2022, had about 1,100 yards that year and helped Toronto win a Grey Cup. And he was really the true number one receiver on that team with McLeod Bethel-Thompson at a quarterback. So when you look at him, though, going to Hamilton, he doesn't have to be anything close to a number one receiver because they have Kenny Lawler there. They have Keandre Smith. They brought back Shamar Bridges. And I think it's a really stout group that they have over there. So he doesn't even necessarily have to play a lead role, but it gives Hamilton a legitimate starting Canadian on their roster and adds to the depth, which I think they dearly needed after watching some of the ratio issues, I guess I'll call them, last season.
Is there any free agents available still that you feel could be really good value for someone?
Ooh. I think that Sean McEwen, for me, would probably top that list. I mean, he's a proven guy. I know he's been in the league a little while, but he's coming off an ACL injury. And, these days that doesn't really seem to affect players the way I'm sure you would know, Jason, like from back in the day when that potentially ended players' careers. So yeah. I look at a guy like Sean McEwen, who's a proven starter as a Canadian offensive lineman, and I think could be a great value add because there's not many of them. We talked about Coulter Woodmansey earlier getting $300,000. That's why he got that kind of money. So I look at a guy like Sean McEwen and think he could bring great value to a team as a potential starter or a number 6 that can play multiple positions on the interior.
Yeah. What about coaching staff? I think coaching staff is very important. You look at Edmonton, they obviously need a new D-line coach, running backs coach, but they added a few other, kind of defensive guys to that. What do you make of that? A little bit expanded coaching jobs here in Edmonton this year, up to 10.
Yeah, and the guy I really want to pinpoint, and I get that there's some turnover on defense there, but the defense started to play better towards the end of the season.
Oh, yes.
So I'll shine some light on Des Catelier, a guy who was a quarterback at the University of Manitoba for a long time there, had a great productive career for the Bisons, and has, I'll say, quietly climbed the coaching ladder as a Canadian in the Canadian Football League. So he's going to be the special teams coach. We know he knows offense from his days at Manitoba. I think he's been studying defense. He wants to know it all, and he's been getting after it. So that's a guy that if I'm an Edmonton Elks fan, that I'm having an eye on and thinking, okay, this is a young up-and-comer with a lot of potential as a coach. And good on the Elks and Mark Killam for giving him that opportunity to take the next step in his career.
Yeah, I look at, they bring in Anthony Vitale as a defensive analyst, at Danny Nesbitt's their defensive quality control coach now. Now who knows? We're going to talk to Mark Killam next week to kind of break down exactly what the specifics of that, like what's a defensive analyst? Like I'm assuming he's going to analyze the defense, but what specific areas is he going to do it on? And you look at, like, I know that it's been a sore point for a lot of people that the coach, the management salary cap, isn't great to help out in coaching. Where do you come out on that?
Definitely. Totally agree. I mean, from a Canadian's perspective, certainly it limits the number of sheer Canadians that can get opportunities because there's an actual cap on the number of coaches that you can have. And then, of course, on how much you can spend on them. And then just from an overall perspective, like we talk about NIL exploding in the United States, but the salaries of those coaches, have gone up too, right? There's more money at hand. So if you want to get the young, best up-and-coming coaches, I think this football operations cap needs to be pushed up. You talk to people around the league, Jason, and they'll say it barely keeps up with the rate of inflation in terms of how much this football operations cap has moved up. You look at the salary cap jumping up, and I think it would be only fair that the football operations cap goes up, and it's going to ultimately benefit the product on the field. I think there's a great product on the field right now as it is. But if you have young, innovative, up-and-coming coaches on your staffs who get those opportunities, and I'm not saying there's not those guys now, but if you have more of them, at the end of the day, that gameplay is only going to be better.
Looking ahead, now that you see most teams have kind of finalized their new roster, and I know on paper is one thing, Justin. Which team do you feel has improved the most?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'll look at, I think I'm going to pinpoint 3 teams here. Edmonton would certainly be one. Ottawa would be another one, and Hamilton. Now, Grey Cups aren't won in CFL free agency, but some people feel you can lose them. So I think when you look at the entirety of the free agency, Hamilton did a really good job, but they also had some holes to fill. Like Devin Verisuck signs with the Indianapolis Colts. They bring in Wynton McManus, which is great, and he's still an elite defender, but Verisuck was a bona fide rising star as a Canadian. They lost some tackles to Edmonton, bring in Trevor Reed, which I thought was a sneaky signing. So I thought they kind of had holes to fill. So then I think it really comes down to Ottawa or Edmonton. And Edmonton seemed to be on the rise at the end of last season, and I really felt like Ottawa needed to go out and be aggressive. So I think Ottawa improved the most, but I think Edmonton also has a chance to take a step forward based on the momentum at the end of last year and then what they did in free agency.
When you look at Powell, because we got a lot of texts coming in on, there's a lot of people that are very high on him. And, I know Cody Fajardo's the starter here, no question. But there's a lot of people who think Powell might push him at some point during the season.
I could see that as a possibility, but Taylor Powell hasn't played any football in the last 2 years because Bo Levi Mitchell's been healthy. I'm not saying that he hasn't gotten better, but when I talk to people in the league, they kind of question him. Well, we haven't seen him in a couple of years. And I still think there's a great upside there. And we know that Cody Fajardo is year to year. So it is important to have that next potential starting quarterback behind the guy that's starting right now. So I do still think that there is some great upside in Taylor Powell, that he's an intriguing player at the quarterback position, but we haven't seen him play. So I think that's where some people get into some heated debates, honestly, behind the scenes of, okay, who's the best backup quarterback in the league? And some people, clearly Ottawa, felt this way with Jake Maier because he's the highest paid backup in the Canadian Football League at $200,000 in hard money for the 2026 season. So Taylor Powell, I think, doesn't necessarily get into that top tier argument just because he hasn't played. But there was talk, when Bo Levi Mitchell was struggling prior to him passing for 5,000 yards in 2 straight seasons, that Powell could overtake Bo Levi Mitchell in Hamilton. So I think he has that upside. And as you know, Jason, in any sport, it's great to talk about the upside, but you got to realize it. I think Taylor Powell has put the work in or can put the work in to potentially do that, but I'm going to see him on the field.
Awesome, Justin. Really appreciate this, man. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jason.
There you go. That's Justin Dunk from 4 Down Nation. As we were talking, Connor, does that look like a broken leg to you? What happened there?
Kind of looked like it was Wilson finishing a hit. Kevin Fiala's left leg got caught underneath him. They kind of tangled legs, and he's going off on a stretcher. Might be broken leg. Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah.
Awful for he and the Kings.
Yeah, that could be. That'd be brutal news for him. Hopefully it's just like a bad twist or something. But the fact that they took him off in the stretcher might suggest that it's more than just a twist or a sprain. So, yeah, and that wasn't a cheap hit. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, Tom Wilson." I didn't see anything wrong with that. I think that's just a collision on the boards, and they go down, and that sucks in contact sports, man. And that could be a brutal loss for the LA Kings. Brutal. So, quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions coming up and more. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping
frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you? Who, me? No way. I swear. Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor at sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991. Or visit silentrides.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade, safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Wondering what to get your sweetheart this Valentine's Day? How about the gift of... From Metal Supermarkets. They sell it, cut it, and bend it fast. Nothing says love like a sheet of solid steel to last a lifetime, just like your affection. Or you could do the old box of chocolate thing. So predictable. Be better. Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for... Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. This week at Papa John's, enjoy a Pizza in My Heart thin crust pizza for only $17.99. Order now at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Little extra positive Friday brass bonanza for you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Canada has clinched first place in Group A with a 5-1 victory over Switzerland. So 5-0 over Czechia, 5-1 over the Swiss. Connor McDavid has been in on 60% of their goals. You know what? They're relying too much on McDavid. Okay? That's a problem. He's not in on 6% of all their goals. Team Canada, clearly not deep enough.
Where's the depth?
The problem, yeah, that's clearly a problem. Clearly a problem.
Good to see them get contributions from their bottom 6 and Sidney Crosby, though.
Yeah, I can't, like, you know what? Can't believe the Oilers bottom 6 doesn't score like that. But yeah, McDavid, of course, 6 points through his first 2 games. 1 goal, 5 assists, 2 big hits He's obviously been playing very well, as has the entire team. I thought Logan Thompson played well tonight. And now they move on. They got France on Sunday. That's going to be like easy peasy. Let's be honest here. Like Switzerland beat France 4-0. Like Canada, that now the Canadian game, because you want to be the number one seed. And so, but not just the number one seed in your pool, the number one seed overall. And that's where goal for differential will matter. So right now, they're +9. USA is plus, what are they, +4, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, they're +4, right? Because they won their first game by 4. And then USA will, of course, play Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, the U.S. is going to take on Denmark. Should be a win. And then they will take on Germany in their final game. And so Canada plays before the U.S. So I don't expect Canada to let up, because goal for, goals against, that's the tiebreaker. USA isn't in their pool, right? There's no head-to-head, nothing. It'll be the tiebreaker. So they're +9 right now. Is USA going to beat Denmark by 4 or 5? Very likely. So Canada, I think, hey, if you get up 8-0, but let's say USA beats Denmark by 6, well, then you're thinking, hey, we got to maybe go up a little bit more. So that'll make it interesting. Just because Canada and US, I think, are both going to win their division. The other teams, somebody's going to be 2-1 between Slovakia, Sweden, and Finland. They all could be 2-1, which is crazy. Now, if they're all 2-1, but Slovakia doesn't lose 4-1, doesn't lose by 3 goals, 4-1 to Sweden, anything better, then Slovakia will be the number 1 seed in their pool. So we'll see where it goes. And the number 2 seed in that pool might be the other team to get the bye and be the number 4 seed overall, because that's how it works. Top 4 teams get a bye, and then 5 plays 12, 6 plays 11, 7, 10, 8, 9. And then whoever is the lowest seed of those teams remaining will face off the number 1 seed, and then second lowest to number 2, and so on. So, and then away we go. So that'll be good. You have the qualifying games go on Tuesday, and then it gets right into the quarterfinal on Wednesday. The semifinals are on Friday at either 8:30 our time or 1 o'clock, and then you have Sunday is the final, which would be early, crazy, 6 o'clock. Like, come on. The only negative I would think of this tournament is the potential for a 6 a.m. gold medal game. Hey guys, it looked like Wilson landed on his ankle from Rob. Yeah, it didn't look good, man. Like that could be brutal news for the LA Kings and Kevin Fiala specifically, and even for Switzerland for their chance to pull an upset. So away we go. But yeah, that, like, good thing the Kings got Panarin. I'll say that, right? That Panarin acquisition, which was big, looks even bigger now for them, as they're going to be battling down the stretch to get in the playoffs. Like, the Kings aren't a lock to get in the playoffs right now. They're actually sitting outside of the playoff spot in the Western Conference as we speak now. Not by much, but still, they're 3 points back of the Ducks. So, they can't afford, I think, to have, give away points here. So that's a big loss potentially.
And this was always the worry with the NHL players participating.
But it happens, man. You can get, like, people who are like, I'm like, guys, the guy can get hurt, and he could have been playing tonight in an NHL game and get hurt. Like, what are we talking about?
But if you're a Kings fan, this is your worst nightmare.
Sure.
If someone goes to the Olympics, that you're worried about Evan Bouchard not going. He's safe at home right now. Same with Zach Hyman. There'll be no implications for the Oilers with some terrible unplanned injury.
Yeah. Well,
every time they take the ice, it's a risk.
Oh, sure. Yeah. One that they're all willing to take, and I would hope I would want, like, if you want your players to experience that, it's a big time moment, confidence, emotion, everything about it. Bouchard, Hyman, Ekholm, all guys were very close, could easily have been on those. Could those guys have played in those teams and not embarrass themselves and played well? Yes, yes, and yes. But from an Edmonton perspective, it benefits Edmonton because they get a little bit of a break. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, tough way to end. I'm curious, does that open up cap space? Do you think Ken Holland in LA would take another big swing now if Fiala's out? From Nick. Good question. I'd have to look, kind of who's available, number one. And let's wait and see to see the extent of the injury, first of all. Like, I know it didn't look good, but some injuries we've seen that didn't look good and ended up being okay. I know that it's an ankle, and rarely do you see the guy taken off on a stretcher. He was laying on his stomach on the stretcher.
They didn't flip him over, which is weird.
Well, maybe they obviously, the doctors on the ice know way more than I know, so I'm not going to critique it. It's rare to see the guy. The good news is they didn't Mike Modano him, so that's good. Still the greatest stretcher handling in the history of stretcher handling.
Would there be different Olympic medical protocols? Like, would they be extra sensitive, or would be the same as an NHL game? Or
no, I think you're gonna, like, it's an ankle injury. Like, if it was a twisted ankle, I don't think they're putting him on the stretcher, right? Like, come on here. No offense, it's not soccer. They're not just running the guy out there, get the spray. Oh, magically, we froze it, and now the guy's cured. It's amazing. I'd like to get that, though, because clearly it's like one of the great, it's like magic in a bottle.
The weird stretcher, though, they took him off on. We can at least agree on that. The Olympic stretcher.
It just looked different. Yeah, the European stretchers look different for sure. It was just like a flat board, though, was it not? And the guys were carrying it.
It had big wagon wheels on the side, though.
Yeah. So, hey, they roll it on the ice, buddy. Safety first.
Safety first.
Mm-hmm. So, because they didn't, like, here, though, when there's a guy, I'm trying to think how often do they put him on the stretcher, and does the ambulance come on the ice? I think
the ambulance stretcher,
Yeah, so it comes right on. So that's why it's there, because I walk by the ambulance every time at the Oiler games where it's parked, right? It's between the media lounge and then going to the Oilers room, so it passes it all the time. Trying to think the last time I even seen that thing used in Edmonton. Knock on wood. Good thing it's been a while. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, do you think the emotion of these games, McDavid's going to come home and be emotionally exhausted? I guess anything's possible, but I don't really see why. Right? Like, what's they're winning. He's playing unreal. And like Connor McDavid, how many minutes do you think he played today?
Good question.
14-22. So you didn't even have to play him very much, right? So that's why I don't really believe in the fatigue factor. Like, that's 2 periods sometimes for McDavid. Like, honestly, it is. So, they had a balanced attack. The fewest minutes today was Seth Jarvis at 9:19, Bo Horvat at 9:26.
How do you like Connor's chances against France?
I think he'll be all right. So,
if you're France, you're like, oh no, Le Connor.
You know what though? I think they're like, for those guys, like, you get to play against the best player in the world, right? And best players in the world. I think as a competitor, like, they'll be excited as much as like, you're just excited to be on the ice. I mean, you can tell your friends, you can tell everybody, man, I played against McDavid. Like, what if you shut him down on one rush? It's going to be unbelievable. So, yeah, I don't think that, like, they'll know, like, everybody knows who's better, right? Like, it's not like, hey, geez, you know what? I think I can handle McDavid now. I don't think they're going to be saying that, but that, to get to compete against the best of the best, man, that's kind of the dream, I would think, right? That's what you want, is it not?
But in the moment, you're like, I hope he doesn't make an absolute fool out of me on a 2-on-1. You don't want to be on the end of a Olympic highlight no one can see ever again.
Well, that's the good thing. That no one is going to see it, right? Like, honestly, it's like, oh, did the Olympics happen? Well, I don't know. You can't see it anywhere on social media. It is a weird, it's a weird world that way.
He's never going to live that down, but no one will remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? I can get beat by him. Where? Show me the video.
Yeah.
Show me the video. I can't find it. Exactly. It didn't happen. So, hey guys, I love that you had Dunk on. Honestly, as a longtime Elks fan, is this the year they finally improve and get back to the playoffs? From Steve. Well, honestly, Steve, I think it kind of has to be. Like, you do at some point need to show improvement on the field. I think that's totally fair. And I think it's something that needs to happen for this organization. going forward.
He seemed quite positive on the moves in the offseason, saying that we were building a depth organization and that sort of thing.
Well, that's what you want, no question. But you got to win, right? Like they've went out, they improved their offensive line, which they needed to do. They got a number one receiver, which they needed to do. They got in some other receivers that are big, a little bit bigger targets. So you know what, you can throw the ball downfield maybe more. And Cody Fajardo's got to do his job. He's got to throw the damn ball downfield, right? I don't care about completion percentage. Got to take a few risks every now and then, throwing the ball downfield. And, they got Rankin. He can run the ball. I thought their defense really improved under JC Sherritt. He became way more aggressive and understandably so. They're not going to have any rookies. Like they had, look how many rookies they had in the secondary last year, right? They're not going to have as many rookies this year. And, their linebacking core has got all years of experience. So on paper, yeah, they should be better, but you got to go out and do it.
Playoffs better?
But honestly, yes, to me, it's if the Elks don't make the playoffs this year, it's a major disappointment. It's a massive disappointment. Like you've got to, and I think they've definitely got potential to do it for sure, but you got to do it. Now it's not going to be easy. Like BC's good. Saskatchewan's going to be good. Winnipeg's the interesting one for me. They've been at the top for so long and maybe they'll stay there again, but like that, there's an opening there. There's obviously, I guess, the potential of a crossover team too, right? Montreal, can you beat out Hamilton or Ottawa or both, I should say. So, but I think Edmonton, you got to win at least 9 games this year. They got to be at least 9. I think they got to be over 500. I don't, 8-9 is unacceptable. That'd be a disappointment. That's how I look at it. You?
It feels like the organization's coming up off bottom. I feel like there was some positive home games last year, nice weather, good crowds. I feel like that's the way to build the team back. People need to go see a good game, see a win, and that momentum will snowball.
Yeah, why not? Cons, what about you? What's your expectations?
Hi. It's got to be a quick start, though. The last 2 years, we've seen them start slow and then battle their way back into it. I think this year, and, not to disrespect the previous regime or the previous quarterback, but I think just having your QB1 with no debate is absolutely massive for this team. There's no distractions there. It's Cody Fajardo. He's going to be leading this team unless something happens injury-wise, but he's the guy, and I think that's going to probably lead to a better start. And, for me, I think they're a playoff team. Granted, I said that last year. I had them as the crossover team, and they just missed out on that. Should have been there if it wasn't for a few key drops that could have won them a couple games. But, yeah, I think they make the playoffs this year, and I think it will be in the West.
Ooh, in the West. Okay. Let's get to the con man and the Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. They can meet all your car needs with their digital vehicle report. They don't just tell you what your car needs, they'll show you. Book your appointment, fountaintire.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Over at the Winter Games, Canada picks up a 5-1 win over Switzerland in men's ice hockey. Connor McDavid, another 3-point performance. They'll take top spot in Group A. Up next week, France on Sunday, 8:40 a.m. Also in the turn, the Czechs double up France 6-3. Finland beat rival Sweden 4-1 and host Italy fell to Slovakia 3-2. Tomorrow at 8:40 a.m., the Canadian women taking on Germany in quarterfinal action. In curling, Canada's men improved to 3-0 with a victory over Sweden 8-6. Earlier in the day, they also beat the Americans 6-3. Up next is Switzerland on Saturday. On the flip side, the Canadian women fell to the U.S. by a score of 9-8. They'll meet Great Britain tomorrow morning. In the WHL, the Oil Kings head to Calgary tonight, taking on the Hitmen at 7 o'clock. The two teams meet tomorrow night at Rogers, also at 7. In the BCHL, Spruce Grove on the road in Vernon, while the Crusaders head to Blackfalds. In the AJ, you've got 4 games, including Old hosting Bonnyville and Whitecourt taking on Grand Prairie. And at the collegiate level, Golden Bears taking on McEwen in a home-and-home tonight at the Drake. The Pandas and Griffins doing the same, but they'll meet at the DCA this evening. And the two programs also meeting in volleyball at the Saddle Center this weekend, tonight at 6, tomorrow at 5. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by TSN hockey analyst Craig Button. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Tomorrow, it's a Valentine's Day celebration of the footwear with its own loyal fandom. Don't miss the Edmonton Oil Kings Rogers Place Croc Party. Slide into your most romantic winter Crocs and watch your Oil Kings take a bite out of the Calgary Hitman. Catch Oil Kings Gibbets giveaways and an endless parade of the shoe that everyone agrees on. And take a bite out of Calma Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is alligator-sized. Edmonton Oil Kings Croc Party and the Battle of Alberta WHL style. Tomorrow night at 7. Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical Team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
His name? Paul Del Vecchio, better known as Pauly D from TV's hit reality series Jersey Shore. Now he's bringing the party to the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Get ready for DJ Pauly D. Voted as one of the best DJs in the U.S., his passionate, high-energy sets have made him one of the most sought-after DJs in the world. DJ Pauly D. March 7th. Hurry, get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother have the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio, from weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis, post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's a Friday. How are you? Gregor, Holly. Wanye Gretz with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Gregor Show always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, Lotto Max, $50 million and 2 Max Millions up for grabs. You can get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Canada wins. So $50 million, Canada wins 5-1. Maybe it's a day of 5 for you. Maybe it's the day of 5. So, we'll see what happens. Canada's next game, of course, is against France. Then they would most likely, they've already clinched first, so they'll get a bye automatically. So they'll play Sunday, and then they do not play again until Wednesday. We won't know who they'll play because on Tuesday is when they play, what am I doing here? Yeah, they play, there's 4 games on the Tuesday. That'll be the qualifying round. Then there'll be the quarterfinals on Wednesday. And Canada's either going to be the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed. And then they will play whichever one they'll play. If they're the number 1, they'll play the lowest remaining seed. If they're number 2, they'll play the second lowest remaining seed. Then the semifinals are next Friday, and the final would be on Sunday. So there you go. Leon Draisaitl, depending, like his Olympics could be done by, I guess, in theory, as early as Tuesday, if Germany loses then, or maybe Wednesday. Who knows? Maybe they'll make it all the way to semifinals. So, you know what? The 2 teams are going to have to join USA and Canada. Some people think it's automatically going to be the Finns and the Swedes. I think there's a good chance, but definitely not a lock for sure on that. Hey, Greggs, I have to say I laughed at your tweet during the game when you talked about how many fans of other NHL teams were torn watching Bennett get away with a blatant penalty. Well, it's true, right? It's true. Like, that was a clear penalty. Did you see, like, man, who knew the Swiss? I thought they were always neutral. I thought they were calm, collected. No. They're throwing beers on the ice. There is a few, like, that was a blatant missed call. Like, no doubt. Just admit it. Every now and then, hey, you got away with one, it's fine. There'll be calls the other way or they get missed, but that was a miss. No doubter in my mind. That was a miss for sure. Hey, guys, does France have any NHLers? They have one. Alexander Texier. He's the only one. So, yes, that is a big mismatch. Czechia beat him 6-3 today, but Czechia was up 2-0, and then France scored 3 goals early in the second to take a lead, man. Like, they were going crazy. The building was kind of stunned for a while. So even though France and Italy, like, they haven't got embarrassed in the tournament, which is great to see. Haven't seen, like, gross blowouts, right? Like, Switzerland beat France 4-0. Well, Canada beat Czechia 5-0, right? US beat Latvia 5-1. That's not like an embarrassment of games, right? Sweden beat Italy by 3. Right? Heck, Slovakia beat Finland by 3. So they haven't just yet gotten dominated yet in any of the games. So that's obviously good. Tomorrow has Sweden, Slovakia, big game. Potentially, well, really probably for first place in that pool. Then Germany, Latvia, Finland and Italy, and USA and Denmark. Canada, of course, has tomorrow off, and then they'll return on Sunday. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Craig Button is going to join us in a little bit of time. Now, I do have something here for the audience. So, do any of you have doggy doors? You know, like on your door, the little dog door, so the dog can go in and out of the room without having to open the door. Anybody got one? I need to know, did you install it yourself? Because I need to put a doggy door on my son's door in the basement.
It's time?
Well, it's the dog, sometimes, like, if I wake up early in the morning, I'm usually up like 5:30 or 6, if she hears me, and I'm trying to be like a thief, like stealth around the house, and she'll still hear it, and then she scratches on the door and wakes him up. So I'm like, okay, we gotta solve this problem here. So I think I'm gonna put a dog door. But you know what? I've never done one. But I'm curious, people who have a doggy door, did you install it yourself? And what is your level if you had to rank yourself 1 out of 10 in handyman? Where would you rank? Because if you're a 10, I'm not a 10. But I'm also not a 1. I'm probably, like, there's certain things, like if it was outside stuff, I'm way better. Growing up on the farm, there's way more stuff I did. Inside, like my problem is like I'm not great at cutting anything in a straight line. Like I'll have to make sure I draw the straight line. I got to measure it 97 times because I don't know, like that stuff I'm not good at. So, but I'm just curious, like, can't be that hard, can it? Or maybe it's harder than I think. I don't know. So anybody out there who has a doggy door, did you install it? What's your level 1 to 10 in handyman skills?
For an inside the house door.
Yes, that's what it is.
They're hollow, aren't they usually?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be as hard now.
So saw it out.
Yes.
Take the hollow part of the door and put a hinge on it.
Well, no, you don't. I just have the black flap. The dog just walks through. That's the one I'm thinking of. I don't want a doggy door you lock and close. Usually the ones that I see is the dog from either side. It's like the black kind of rubber. And so it works as like, so it keeps the light in or out. Right. And then your dog just, once you train the dog, goes through it a few times, put a few treats on one side. She'll be in and out of that thing. No problem.
You got this.
Well, I don't think it can be that hard. I'm just curious because the thing is, I can do it. And then you ruin the door. That's what I'm thinking. So any doggy door owners, let me know. 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, I did one. It's easy. I'm about a 6 out of 10 from Darcy. Hey, Greg's, I installed one in my house fairly easy. You get a little bit, if you have a little bit of skill, my level's about a 4.5. All right, Gregor J. See, I like the guy's honesty. Don't fake it. Oh, I'm a 10. No. Hey, guys, I have a cat door and I haven't installed it. And the fiance keeps asking me my handyman skills are about an 8 to 9. What the hell are you waiting for, Efron? If you're an 8 to a 9 in handyman skills, you should have been like, that should have been your go-to. You'd be like, I'm red green. If they don't find you handsome, at least they'll find you handy, right? Like you should be all over that.
It's like a singer not singing.
Yeah, come on. Why not? So
there's blackout drapes at my house for Wanye Jr. that I had to poke so many holes in the wall until I found the stud because I didn't have a stud finder. That room is ruined. And when I move out, I'm going to have.
Well, did you at least try like even the old school with your hand?
I thought I did, and I was
clearly you didn't.
Brand new baby. You got to get that stuff done before the baby comes. All you new parents out there, whatever jobs you leave until after the baby comes,
yeah,
it's not good. You're not in a good headspace for home renovations with a brand new baby.
No, all right. So I'm, and mine's a small dog, so I don't have to do it very high up in the door. That's the other thing. Like I can't see it being that difficult. It's more so, and it's in the basement. Like if the line isn't perfectly straight, like it's not like it's upstairs in the main room that everybody walks by and says, "Who is the fool who put this in?"
You can take the door off the hinges.
Well, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, oh no, trust me. I thought about it
You
for a
could do
second.
it.
I'm like, I probably could do it this way, but that's where you've got accident waiting to happen. 100% accident waiting to happen. So,
to me, hanging the door is harder than cutting the doggy door. Hanging doors so that they don't swing when you're done and just so they're perfectly level. That's hard. Hard work.
Yeah, but mine's already set, so I just got to take it on and off. It's not going to be that hard to put it back on, right?
I don't know, isn't it?
Well, why? I just take out the 3 pins and pull the door off. Can't be that hard. So, hey guys, I'm a 5 out of 10. Did it, no problem. Just need the right tools. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hey, Greg's, drill 4 holes, run the jigsaw, install door, which should snap in. Simple. Okay. That one comes from CL.
You got a jigsaw?
Yeah.
That's advanced.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I have enough tools to do it. So, hey, guys, I did it, but I did it in the garage. Not perfect. No one cares. See, that's true. That's the other thing, right? Most people are saying it depends on the tools. That's the key. Not so much your skill. Do you have the right tools? Well, there you go. So, I knew it. So that might be the weekend thing. We'll see. I got a lot of things going on. Son's in the big track and field finals. I don't know what they call it, the running room games or whatever. So they're not the finals yet. It's either it's a final day, but there's 3 rounds, man. It's like I'm going to the Olympics of track.
What's he running?
It's a 200-meter relay. So it's actually 8 by 200.
Is that the old Journal Games now with a different name?
Well, it's a running room, but I don't know if this one's because the Journal Games I thought had more than just one. This is just the 8 by 200. So I don't really ever recall doing 8 by 200. I remember we used to have a 4 by 200. Or maybe my memory is, it's been so long ago. But God, I remember going, man, to the Butterdome. You have your track cleats on. Like, it was unbelievable.
It was the Summer Olympics.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic.
I hope they still do it.
Oh, God. Yeah. No. I know they still do
Okay.
it. I think it might just be called the running room right now. So we'll see where it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. I'm based on the text line. This seems like it's definitely something I can do for sure.
A bunch of yes men on the text line here. Nobody thinks you need help?
No. Hey, Gregor, I should correct myself. I'm a 9 out of 10. I just meant it was a 4 to 5 skill level rating to install it. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, well, that's fine. I don't, like, if it's outdoor, like farm skill stuff, then I'm way higher. In the house stuff, not so much. Like, if there's like the number one job I would hate is like repairing holes in the wall. Even though it's not hard, I don't like it. Like, I'd rather put up new drywall. Like, take the whole thing, put up the new drywall like that. But when you got like one hole, you got to patch the holes. I hate patching the holes. Can't stand it. So actually, my wife, she likes it, so she does.
You've delivered a calf, right?
Multiple, yes.
I think that gets you out of a few other chores. Like, if you're able to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's true. No, that's what I said. I got some different skill sets for sure. Painting's another thing. Did it once. Nope. Hate it. Like, do not like it. Some people love it. Everybody's got different things they do. Like painting. That's on my list of least enjoyable things to do.
I saw a lamb born at about 350 feet. It still scarred me to this day. I couldn't imagine being around multiple live animal births. Yuck.
Yeah. Hey, Greg's majority doors are hollow core, meaning there'll be an inch of solid wood at the bottom. It'd be much easier to cut through the hollow part. So you're saying so cut the hole, leave about 3 inches at the bottom. Yeah, my dog can obviously jump over 3 inches. That shouldn't be a problem. There you go. Hey, Greg's, I'm no handyman. And my wife ordered a dresser from Struck Tube today that I had no idea about. Wish me luck from Trey. Oh, man. How many people remember the first time you had to install something from scratch from IKEA? And those who were able to remain calm and composed on the first time, kudos to you. Better human than I am.
Doing it tomorrow. Not for the first time.
Yeah. But like, once you understand how the bubble instruction guy works, because there's really no words in the IKEA one, right? That's what made it always funny. And you just draw the picture, because usually you'd be close, but you'd have one piece that they didn't show in the picture exact way it had to go. And you're like, well, it looks close enough. And then you get all the way to the end. No, this last piece won't fit. Then you got to take it all apart. Like, oh, man, there was some Serenity Now moments in the early days of IKEA as a young home renter. Wasn't even a homeowner then. You buy one of those. Oh, yeah, you buy the cabinet. Oh, it looks so great in store. And then you're taking like 6 hours to install it. You're just losing your mind. God, those are good times.
Everything I build from IKEA has 3 distinct phases. The first phase is trying to follow the instructions. This is the time I'm going to build it just the way they intended. Second phase is I'm like, oh, they've made some mistakes. They haven't shipped me enough bolts. So then I start to like make decisions on the fly that IKEA never intended these innovations. And then the third phase is usually I have to screw it apart, take a few steps back. Otherwise, this is never going to be a show.
Oh, yeah. No, it's true. Like, it's like, but doing home. Hey, guys. Hey, Greg's, my only advice, just do the door by yourself. Home renovations as a couple, never good. I've heard that. I've never really had to do it. So, but I've heard, I also know like there's certain things I'm like, I'm not doing that. Just not doing it. Like, don't start me down the path where like lots of things I'll try and I'll do it, but there's certain things where I'm just like, I'm not doing it. Like painting now, no chance. You want to paint? Go ahead, knock a shot. I'm not painting.
You're not painting the house?
Yeah, not painting the house.
What else is on this list?
I'm not the biggest fan of plumbing. Like, obviously you can do some simple things like, you got to change a toilet seat or some minor stuff, but anything plumbing and nope. And the funny is I got a few buddies that are plumbers and they're like, you know what? Most guys said, Gregor, you don't keep us in business because what happens is most people try to do it themselves. Then they end up making it worse. And I've heard the horror stories. I'm like, plumbing? No, like I've changed a sink out before. So certain things you can do, but there's some where I'm just like, no, not doing it. You just got to know, to me, you got to know your capabilities and not be afraid of saying, could I do this? Yes. How long would it take me to do it? And is it worth my time and frustration to do it? That's how I weigh it now. I like to try new things, but there's certain things that you try and you're like, nope, not doing it.
Have you ever had anything happen at your houses or your residences that you lived in where you're like, I'm not equipped to adult at this level? Has anything happened where you're like, oh no?
Well, we did a home renovation and I helped do tile. I couldn't do tile by myself. I had no tiling skills. And I remember when I lived on my own, I had a 2-bedroom townhouse. And so, was going to renovate or whatever. So we did new tile in the floor. And the mistake I made was, so my buddy was a tiler. He's like, yeah, hey, you can just be my gopher guy. Okay, great. I made the mistake of allowing him to do it when it was cold out. Well, he got to my house, too cold, couldn't cut the stuff outside. So now he had to cut it into my house. Dude, that fine dust was all. I don't care. You can put bed sheets on stuff. It doesn't matter. It's still there, and you can scrub and you can clean. Well, I had to pay a house cleaner after I did it 2 separate times to finally get most of that. It was awful. So, yeah, tiling, no thanks. Never. I'll never do tiling again. Some people are tilers. Good for you. Right? That and mud and taping. Nope, can't do it.
Muddy and taping is a good one to call a pro.
Yes. Yeah, because I can install the drywall. It doesn't take that skill. And, you cut it. Maybe there's a little bit, oh, geez, it's not as tight. A good mud and taper, he'll fix it up. You can't tell. But mud and taping, no. The guys listening or gals who are mud and tapers, you're the unsung heroes in society.
When they get the stilt, have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
When they're doing an archway in the entry of a house, it's crazy, the skill.
Very good. Very good. Quick break. We'll come back. Craig Button will join us. What if you had to give Button a rating, what do you think his handyman rating would be out of a 10?
I think he's got street smarts. I think he's probably a 7 or an 8.
Think he's that high? See, I was going to say a 6.5.
Okay.
Cons, what about you?
10.
10?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll ask him. We'll see what he says. Is he real, though? Because you know how some people, Gregor, how do you know a guy's that good? Some people will say they're good and they're not. Well, it's true. Right? It's guys who are 5'10". I'm 5'11", 6 feet. No, you're not. Go in an NHL room every day. You know how many guys who are 5'10", who aren't 5'10"? Stunning. It's hilarious. This guy's listed at 6 feet. Pardon? No chance.
I know one guy who was a handyman 10, and when they built his house, they basically stopped at the framing, and he lived in it and did the rooms himself.
Well, yeah.
Incredible. That's 10.
Yeah. Quick break. We'll return to Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you looking for safe and professional transportation solutions for your group events and sports teams? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass, made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with the Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal on a dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at The Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Edmonton Mall, Northside, and downtown.
Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Get your power play amped up with UL, supplying the City of Champions and Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. UL.ca is your partner in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Three. We return on a positive Friday. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We roll through. Lovely positive Friday. Getting set for the weekend. You got fired up emotion in curling. Canada, Sweden. Could you imagine if they suddenly just would have thrown down? That would have been unreal. But there was some good heated conversations going on in that curling match earlier today between Sweden and Canada. Our good friend of the show, Mark Kennedy. It was so you had the Swedes on one side of the ice and the Canadian guys are on the other, and they got to go back and forth. It was awesome. Oh man, you could tell they're fired up. So that's great. Hey, you're at the Olympics, man. Emotions gonna run high. Now it wasn't crazy emotions, but in curling you don't see that very often. So they're talking about, they thought that Kennedy's release, he hadn't released the rock. They thought it was a hog line violation. So, then they were talking to, they'd say, hey, we need you to watch his release points. And then Canada's like, yeah, you watch their release points. And so, yeah, it was classic. A little bit more juice maybe that. And, I will say I thought the Switzerland-Canada game was pretty good. Some big hits on both sides in that game. And, the Swiss, hey, I know it was a 5-1 game and Canada was clearly the better team, but Switzerland had some chances. I really liked Logan Thompson's game. So 2 games, Canada's had solid goaltending in both games thus far, and they'll obviously want that to continue. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Exciting BCHL action as the Saints, who seemed like they were on the road forever, are finally going to have some home games in the month of February. You get your tickets at sgsaints.ca. They are on the road this weekend, final time, and then they finish the month, the final few weekends at home. So get your tickets planned ahead, both Friday and Saturday nights, the final 2 weekends of the month, as we are joined by former NHL GM and scout Craig Butt, now ace analyst and scout for TSN. Butts, how you doing? Do we got him?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Me? Sorry.
All right, there we go.
Sorry about that, Jason.
Oh, no. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. Hey, before we get into it, out of 1 to 10, how would you rank yourself handyman skills?
2.
All right. I appreciate the honesty. All right. Okay. See,
here's what I do really well. Okay? Here's what I do really well. Okay. I get the recycling and the garbage out, and the compost. I can sweep the floor. I do lots of snow blowing, okay, in the winter. I do that. So, I get big marks there. Other than that, simple, screw driving with with the thing, can do a nail into a wall with a hammer.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jason, I'm not very handy.
Okay.
Years ago, I got to tell you this funny story. We were living in the States, and we in our big back patio door, we wanted to widen it and open it up. And so we hired somebody to come in, and my wife at the time, who knew me pretty good. I mean, we were early on in our marriage, but we've been together for a while. She said, "Couldn't you have done this?" And I looked at her and I said, "What? You think it took these guys 2.5 days, 2 of them, and you think I was going to do this? You want it done in 2.5 years, I guess."
Yeah. Early on, give me your thoughts so far. Most teams now played 2 games at the Olympics on the men's side. What stands out to you?
What stands out to me, Jason, is that we talked about Canada and the U.S., being the favorites to play in the gold medal game.
Mm-hmm.
And based on what I have seen, I don't think anybody's close to them. Nobody. Not Finland, not Sweden, not Czechia, not Switzerland, not Slovakia. Nobody. Nobody's close to them. It'll be a monumental upset, in my view, if Canada and the U.S. are not in the gold medal game on Sunday, February 22nd at 6:10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. It would, and hey, we've seen upsets before, but yes, at the rate they're going, that's what it kind of looks like to me. Slovakia, Finland, Sweden, that was definitely going to be the most competitive one, and it looks like, hey, that depends what happens in that Slovakia-Sweden game. Might have 3 teams at 2-1, but like the Swedes, just they don't look great, and I didn't love. I'm stunned in a game that you're playing Italy, that you've completely controlled, that you dress a veteran defenseman and don't give him one shift. Like I just, to me, that's not great messaging. I don't think that endears you to your players.
How can it? I mean, Oliver Ekman-Larsson is a quality guy. Philip Forsberg's your extra guy. Like seriously, what it tells you is this, and coach, sits there. He doesn't have a feel. I will something else in a minute that I think is funny. I don't know if you read about the reports that some of the Finnish players want Paul Maurice to coach the Finnish team because they didn't think that their Finnish coach really had a feel, and they kind of lobbied behind the scenes for Paul Maurice. You know what the European coaches don't have? They don't understand the NHL, and this is an NHL competition.
Yeah,
it's an NHL competition at the Olympics, and these European coaches don't understand it. I mean, it's obvious, and the feel and everything. I will say this, and I will give him tons of credit because I love him and I think he's done a great job. And I think today was a good example of it. Patrick Fisher is a darn good coach. He gets it. He does get it. I don't think that Holland gets it. I don't think the Finnish coach gets it. Craig Ramsey got it with Slovakia. He tried to pass that on, and there's a reason they're 2-0. There's a reason they go in and can deal with some of the challenges. I don't think a lot of these other guys in Europe understand. It's not the World Championships. It's not that level of play, and the connection you need to have with your players is completely different. The other thing I'm going to say, there's been some real report, I shouldn't say real reports. I don't know if they're real or not, but there's been some reporting that the Minnesota Wild may consider trading Jesper Wallstedt in a big deal. If I'm Bill Guerin and I'm watching Philip Gustafsson, I'm not even thinking about trading Jesper Wallstedt. Because Philip Gustafsson, he has been no good.
It's very interesting you said that, because when I heard, the rumblings that Wallstedt was the guy, and I'm like, why? Why? If you're now, maybe that's what the people are saying, because that's who the other teams would like, because he's a younger goalie. But it makes no sense to me. Somebody would take Gustafsson, no problem, off the hands of the Minnesota Wild. I think because there's lots of teams looking for goalies that don't have a goalie as good as Gustafsson for certain. But yeah, I thought that was a little bit odd. I'm like, why? Like, why would that guy be the one you trade? But we do know the one thing about Bill Guerin, he's not afraid to take a big swing, Craig.
No, which is fine. I'm just saying that I'm keeping Wallstedt though. That's all I'm doing. Like, again, you're trying to get your. I think Wallstedt's a much better maybe not much better, but I think he's a better goaltender than Gustafsson. And Gustafsson plays that first game. I guess Coach Holland was thinking, well, I'll give him another chance here. Well, now you're up against it. You lose to the Finns who aren't as strong, and now you're up against. What's it going to look like? What's it going to look like going forward? Again, as I started off, Jason, there is not one team in this tournament, not named Canada or the U.S., that I think can challenge for a gold medal. And people go, oh, geez, slow down. That's how I feel. And that's seen. I've been watching the games. I know the players. Stand by them. And if those two teams aren't in the gold medal game.
One guy for Canada I think hasn't got a lot of talk. I really like Thomas Harley's game through the first two games of the tournament.
Yeah, well, you should. And I think that, you think about the goal he scored versus Switzerland today. And, he starts it off with a great play from the defensive zone. Then he's right up into the attack. And, Thomas came there last year as an injury replacement. And all 8 defensemen that participated in the Four Nations, they brought back. And I think that speaks volumes about how they feel about the players. I think it speaks volumes about them feeling that the players know how to handle the different challenges and what they give the team and how they can move around the lineup. Like, you look at Thomas Harley, like Shea Theodore, I think is a real valuable player because he can play the left side or the right side, and he can play defensive, he can play offensive. And then you have Harley, who's such a great skater. And one of the things that really shows up to me in this type of competition, and I'll just stay focused in on Team Canada, is that you watch how players are so capable of raising their game when they play with other good players. And I think that we know that Connor McDavid's a really good player, and we know that McKinnon's a really good player. And I'm talking about the Harleys. I'm talking about Brandon Hagel. I'm talking about those players that get up to a higher level and they show that they're even more capable. And yeah, you don't have that same luxury with your individual NHL team, but I think as you're trying to build a body of work and information on these players, it really bodes well for evaluations to know that they can do it. And regardless of how people feel Thomas Harley played this year, and I know people in Dallas have felt that he hasn't played as well as he did last year, it's not about that. It's about Hockey Canada feeling that he can, and he's certainly done a nice job.
John Cooper came out and said that Josh Morrissey won't play on Sunday against France. He's not ruling him out of the tournament. It's obviously not good news for him. That's 2 tournaments. He was sick last time, and now he's got banged up. But the Kevin Fiala play, man, that Artemi Panarin trade looks even more important now because that didn't look good for Fiala with the potential. I don't know if it's an ankle injury or lower leg injury, but it didn't look good.
No, it didn't, and it's really unfortunate for Kevin Fiala and for Switzerland, and certainly the thing that the LA Kings needed most of all was some scoring, and they made the big trade for Artemi Panarin, and now losing Fiala, it feels like you took one step forward and now you've taken one step back, and it really is unfortunate for Kevin Fiala, unfortunate for the LA Kings, but Kenny Holland's got to be thinking, okay, is there something else I can do? And sometimes, despite your best efforts, just things conspire against you. And I think that we felt, I shouldn't say we felt, we hoped that there wouldn't be any significant injuries to some of the top players participating in the Olympics. And we knew that the reality of that probably wasn't good. And, the LA Kings are paying a price now with what happened to Kevin Fiala.
Yeah, and their coaches came out and said, Patrick Fisher said, it doesn't look good. Tough moment for Kevin and the whole team. So obviously that's didn't want to say specific, but obviously not looking great. And now, as we watch the Olympics, Craig, there's also we're 3 weeks today away from the NHL trade deadline. But really, it's less than that because now teams can talk, and we could have some trades announced as quickly as when the trade freeze ends. But you look at some teams here now, and, I look like the Winnipeg Jets. they could move out. But, we talked about the Jets earlier, and I know Logan Stanley's name, and I get why lots of teams would trade him, would want him. Logan Stanley, Craig, is finally developing into the guy that they desperately need. The rest of their blue line's small. I think trading Logan Stanley would be a terrible idea for the Jets.
Well, it's a terrible idea if you feel you can get him signed at a number and a term that fits for you. Now, you look at Logan Stanley, and for the same reasons you think it would not be prudent for the Winnipeg Jets to trade him, you could understand why Logan Stanley and his representatives might feel that there's a huge market out there. This is, to me, right now, where Kevin Shoveldayoff and the Winnipeg Jets, it's great to say we have, this philosophy and, it's only 1 year, but you're right. He's developed. I think it's imperative that they find a way to get to a number and a term with Logan Stanley, because some of their younger defensemen, they got some good younger defensemen in the system. They're not ready. And you're right. They don't have somebody like Logan Stanley. And we can look at what Scheifele signed for and what Hellebuck signed for. Well, just go look what Connor signed for, Kyle Connor. And if you're going to move ahead as a team and you move Logan Stanley, you're just going to be looking for exactly that same player, aren't you? And you know what? That player doesn't exist. They don't become available. I would say that they have to find a way to get it done. Give him $10 million a year. But last year, Dylan Sandberg, who had a fantastic year and is a really good player. But, he's going to get this, he got that. They found a way to get a deal done. And I think that's exactly what they have to do with Logan Stanley.
Yeah. The Toronto Maple Leafs, like I hear the rumblings of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and I look at the Maple Leafs, and I don't see them in a rebuild. So why would you trade a guy who's one of your best defensemen who's at $3.5 million? Like, and unless you're going to get some package that's unbelievable, Craig, I don't see how that's just another step back on a team that, your defense is already weak enough. Why would you trade one of your better defensemen who's on a great cap hit right now?
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's one of the biggest questions that the Toronto Maple Leafs have to ask themselves. I don't think it's one question, it's two questions. And the first question is, where are we? That's the first question. And how can we get to where we want to be? And so, again, so you're right. I agree with you. It's not about a rebuild or anything, but how are they going to move forward and get here's their current situation. They're short too many players. And I think they're short too many players up front. I think they could use a good, more offensive-minded defenseman on the back end. My own feeling is, if you can sign Bobby McMahon, go ahead and sign him. And try to find a way to get him done. He's 29 years old. He's shown that he can be a really good player. Again, you're going to be looking for those players. They don't become available. Now, you start to consider what you need and how you're going to move forward. I think that's what Toronto has to do. If you're going to start trading players for draft picks or for prospects that are 2 years away, well, guess what's going to happen in 2 years away?
Yeah.
Austin Matthews is bye-bye.
Yep.
And he's bye. I'm not speaking here for Austin. I don't know what he wants, but that's the reality of the situation. These players want to win. So again, where are you and how do we get to where we want to be? And they're not in a rebuild. They need to build up they need to go and find, and I think the best time to do that is in the summer. I don't think it's at the trade deadline. I think unless they get something that just they can't say no to, they just carry forward, see how the season plays out, and then be ready for action in the summer. Look at what the New England Patriots did last year. They hired Mike Vrabel, and then they went into free agency, and they were aggressive, and they knew what they were looking for, and they got their team turned around. Now, obviously, I don't think they were saying we're going to be a Super Bowl contender, but they needed to move in. I think that's exactly what Toronto has to do.
Greg Button from TSN joins us. Craig, switching back to the Olympics, but on the women's side, and having watched the games in Edmonton when they were here in the rivalry series, it was pretty evident to me that USA was way quicker. And this has now been 5 game. Well, it's actually 7-game winning streak, but the last 5 games, the rivalry series and head-to-head at the Olympics, it's 29-7. This is not a 1 game. Poulain wasn't dressed. It's not close. USA went younger, and Canada, this reminds me of the 2006 men's Olympic team decision here. They kept with some veterans, and they're getting pretty exposed. And the difference is, in the women's game, there's really only 2 teams. Canada's still going to get a medal, probably going to get the silver right now, because they don't look close to the U.S.
You know why they don't look close to the U.S.? Because they're not close to the U.S. It's lopsided. The difference between the U.S. and Canada is a solid dividing line. And then the difference between Canada and the rest of the countries is a solid dividing line.
Yeah.
And it never was like that. There was always this drama. And Canada is not close to the USA. They're not close. If Canada wins the gold medal at the Olympics this year in women's hockey, it will be one of the biggest upsets of all time, in my view, because that's how far behind Canada is to the U.S. And again, not understanding that you needed to turn the page and not having, and the cycle was turning. And I think the disappointing thing for me, and I use disappointment as, it was right there in front of you. You were watching what the U.S. were doing. Like, what were you going to try to do? Defy it? Like, is that what you're going to do? Like, Jason, there was a time when I could run a 5.5-minute mile. Like, I can't do that anymore. I don't kid myself. I don't try, because I'll only hurt myself. And I think that's what Team Canada did with the women's program. They didn't integrate enough young players. And you look at how many NCAA players are with the USA Olympic team, and there's lots of good players. And this is not going to be a turnaround that you just snap your fingers. Obviously, they're going to have a little bit more time to the next Olympics, and they're going to have to use that time. But I just see it as really lopsided. And you made a good point. Okay, so Marie-Philippe, who's a great player, didn't play in that game against the U.S. When she did play, it wasn't close.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. In those 4 games she played, and it was not close. So that's why I was like, if they're going to try to convince themselves it's because she wasn't there. Like, hey, I know she'll give them an emotional lift for sure. And if it's a gold medal game, they'll be fired up to play. I understand all that. And if they win, it would be, I would consider it an upset right now. No question. Yeah. Just like I think if the U.S. men beat Canada, that's an upset. It's not a major upset, but it's still an upset, because I think the Canadian team is better. It's too bad that it's not a best of 3, but that's what it's kind of like a game 7. It's what it is. It's a game 7. You got to be ready to go. Logan Thompson, Binnington and Thompson. I know Binnington played there before. He played pretty good in his game. So did Thompson. Do you run with Binnington now the rest of the way, Craig, if he goes Sunday and then into the quarterfinals, or is it dependent on how he plays the rest of the way?
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess the thought is, Kemper dressed today, Binnington took the day off. I would think that against France, that John Cooper might want to have Darcy get some Olympic experience. I think that and that might be only a period, right? I'm not talking about starting the game, right? What I think now, this is where, you talk to the goaltending coach and you talk to Jordan and you say, okay, what do you need? Like, you're gonna play another game on Sunday, and then we don't play again till Wednesday. Like I want to give Kemper, I'm just saying, if it's me, I want to give Kemper a period. Do you want to play 2-1, and I give him 2? I wouldn't be including Jordan Binnington in that. I would be saying, what do you need to get us ready? Because now, Sunday, and I don't want him resting. He plays on Thursday. Now he's got 2 days off Sunday, then 2 days off till Wednesday, day off, semifinal, day off, gold medal game, hopefully. So I think he needs the game on Sunday. I think he needs some part of that game, if not all of that game, against France. And, if I'm the coach and I'm saying to him, I'd like to get Darcy in there, and I mean, you're not trying to tell him. You just say, here's what I think, but you're going to carry this. And I think that Jordan can sit down and tell you. Do I think that Jordan's going to get a lot of work on Sunday? No. But I think just being in the net and having the feel, the warm-up, getting into the rhythm, getting some feel, being in the net, watching, just being in the game, needs that. And so that's what I'd be doing. I'd be having, and I would, if he's amenable to it, I'd make sure that Darcy would get at least a period.
All right. Craig, always good to catch up with you, buddy. Have yourself an awesome weekend. Enjoy the Olympics, and we will chat with you next Friday.
Thanks, Jason.
There you go. That's Craig Button from when we talk to him next, we'll know who's going to the final for hockey. We'll come back. We got 5 questions next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal in the dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom, too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at the Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out the Brick in South Common, West Ed Mall, Northside, and downtown.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors, Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca. Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Riverside Honda, 59 years and counting in St. Albert and surrounding areas. Premier Honda and Can-Am dealer. It's your dream. Ride it at riversidehonda.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Awesome Friday. Welcome back to the show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Lotto Max tonight, $50 million. And of course, check out all the action. Olympics, you got NBA right now. Anything else you like? And of course, CFL, you want some outright bets, you can get to that. The Elks going to make the playoffs. Are you confident? What do you think? If the Elks one of the bigger, longer shots to reach it all the way to the Grey Cup, not win it, just make it. So if you're confident, check it out. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Edmonton Mall, Northside, and downtown. And right now, the Love Your Home event is going on where you can save up to $1,500 off of big screen TVs. Maybe you want to get one for the big game. Think about that. 25% off furniture and more at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. 2 games for Canada over in Italy, 2 wins. What has stood out to you the most about this Canadian men's ice hockey team?
It's just one of those dream scenarios, Connor, where you make the lineups and you look and you wonder, what would Celebrini look like on a line with Connor? What would Crosby look like? And the answer is great. It's all my dreams coming true at once. I could watch an 82-game season of this team die a happy man at the end.
Well, to me, I thought they'd be good, and they are who we thought they were, right? Quote Dennis Green, did it in a little bit more negative fashion, I would think, but I there's nothing really that stood out other than actually, you know what I'm going to say? I really like Thomas Harley's game. And I liked Thomas Harley before, but I think, quietly he's stood out. McDavid's obviously doing McDavid things, and it's kind of fun to see him and McKinnon together on a line. Macklin Celebrini, there's nothing that stood out negative at all for me.
All right, question number 2. Who would you start on Sunday, 8:40 a.m. between the pipes when they take on France?
Dude, I'm here to win the tournament. I'm going to Binnington. Like, I'm not playing 3 goals. Now, if you want to play Binnington 40 minutes and Craig said, hey, you can get Kemper in for 20 minutes for the third period and you're up 5-6-0, okay, I could live with that. But I'm giving Binnington the majority of that game because, after that game, your next game is a win and move on, lose and go home game. So I want my goalie ready. I'm not going to have Binnington play one game and then not play again until that. That doesn't make any sense. So it's Binnington all day.
And I'm not disagreeing, Connor.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go back to last time they won gold. Mike Smith didn't play, right? Third goalie. So I'll agree with you guys. Question number 3. If you were in charge, you got an interesting situation with Marie-Philippe Poulin with the injury against Germany, a game they should probably win with or without her. Would you let her rest a little bit longer? Or do you say if she's good to skate, good to go, you get her back on the ice?
Well, yeah, I'm just going to base on what's the injury. I want to know what the injury is. And, she said it's her knee. So to what extent? But we all know that the more you rest it, the better it's going to feel. So, my goodness, you should be able to beat Germany without her. So, yeah, I'd probably rest her.
I might let the player make the call, Connor, and say, what do you think we should do?
Trust your captain. Question number 4 for you guys. This came from our very own Declan Kruger. Has David Pastrnak ever been a top 5 player in the league in your eyes, coming off 3 straight 100-point seasons?
Well, I definitely thought in the was it the 2023 season when he scored 61 goals and they were unreal. He had like 125 points. I don't know, maybe it wasn't 25 or 123 or whatever. That year, I thought for sure he was top 5, like not even a question.
I'd say he's in the conversation always for top 5 for the last 2 or 3 seasons, Connor.
All right. A final question for you guys. Since tomorrow is Valentine's Day, give me your top 3 rom-coms of all time.
I'm old school, Connor, and I thought about this for a while. Terminator would be the first one. Terminator 2.
That's
Judgment.
a rom-com?
Yes, in my house. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Those are my top 3 favorite rom-coms. I'm a romantic.
All right. I'm not a huge rom-com guy, but if I had to pick one, I guess I would go When Harry Met Sally. I would have what's the one with Ben Stiller and Cameron Diaz and Brett Favre stars in it.
Something About Mary?
Something About Mary.
Brett Favre's in that?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I would have that one. And well, the one that actually did make me laugh a little bit, I would probably go with Crazy Stupid Love. That's pretty funny.
Nice.
So. You got non-joke ones, Connor, or are you a jokester?
Well, under the category Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I did enjoy. Mila Kunis thought it was terrific in it. Pretty Woman, because the soundtrack, and then She's the Man with Amanda Bynes back in the day.
I've never seen it. See, I forgot one. I wanted 4 Weddings and a Funeral. It was hilarious.
I saw Pretty Woman again the other day, and I remembered it as being like a really shocking, controversial movie. And when I watched it in 2026, I'm like, there's nothing here. There's nothing at the time. I was like, oh, shocking, Pretty Woman. Now, nothing.
No.
Skier's a little sleazy in it, isn't he?
Well, like the storyline, but just there was nothing like shocking that jumped off the screen to me as an adult.
Yeah. Well,
she wore a wig. Pretty crazy.
Stayed in a nice hotel.
That jewelry box snapshot. That's pretty crazy.
Yep.
See, the best thing about Pretty Woman was the soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. Yeah. Can't deny that.
Great soundtrack. I didn't love the movie, but great soundtrack. So, like, I think, like in Erin Brockovich, I really liked her. Thought her character was great, but I'm not a huge Julia Roberts fan. I don't know why. I've just never been a huge Julia Roberts fan. She's okay, but yeah, I didn't like Pretty Women. I was like, meh.
I would largely agree with you. Other than Pretty Woman, I don't think I like any of her movies. And it's all because Strutty made us watch Notting Hill. That's where she sucks, right? Like,
Oh yeah, you didn't like Notting Hill.
no, I didn't.
Oh, no.
I thought she was the worst in that one.
I like Notting Hill.
Well, no, why? When you listen to Connor's synopsis of that movie, it was great. No,
I got to go rewatch it. But yeah, I feel like she really was not nice to Hugh Grant and then just showed back up and expected him to take her.
Yeah, with that terrible line, I'm just a girl asking for a zip it.
See ya.
Yeah.
Zip it.
Yeah.
Cold.
Hey, at that point, beat it.
You'd say zip it to that
Well,
speech?
probably not zip it. No. I don't know if I'd have been in that position, though.
That movie would be very different if you were in it. Zip it.
Yeah.
The end.
Classic. So, yeah, because Hugh had, like, 4 Weddings and a Funeral is pretty funny, though. Right? Like that movie, it was really funny, I found. So, a little sad at times, too, right? When the bloke died, the funny guy. So, it's unfortunate. But I'm trying to think, like, has there been a good rom-com in the last, like, well, I probably don't watch any. So, I don't know if you kind of get out of a certain stage of your life where I'm like, I'd have no reason right now to watch a rom-com. Like,
there's a window in your life where you put up with this nonsense as a guy, where you're like, I'll watch.
But even I think, like, my wife isn't into them. So why the hell would I watch one? You know what I mean? Like, come on, for being honest, like, that's not going to sit down and watch. Like, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, I'd probably watch again. It made me laugh. But
I know a real one. 50 First Dates. That was a nice movie.
A nice one.
Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore.
Well,
yeah.
Hey, guys, is Hitch considered a rom-com?
I would say so.
He's helping.
Yeah, probably. Right? Yeah, there had some funny parts in that movie, sure.
Is Saving Private Ryan considered a rom-com, Connor?
No, that's
No.
real
No,
movie, though.
it's a good movie.
That's a war epic.
#1 rom-com.
Hey, guys, what's the one with Aniston and what's his name? Why just because I closed my Aniston and Vince Vaughn. Oh, when they were like when they're when they're exes.
I think I saw that in theaters. Weirdly enough.
When you were in that window of your life where you would go to rom-coms in the theater.
19 years old.
A game.
You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen a rom-com in a theater now that you mention that. God, I don't think so.
You never invited a girl to a movie you didn't want to see at all just to impress her? Pretend like you were super in?
Oh, I think I went to comedies. I don't know if I went to like a rom-com. Trying to think though. Look, yeah. And like none that jump off the page where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that movie in the theater. No, maybe I did, but can't think of one.
I remember the window of inviting girls to a movie that I had
it was a classic, buddy. It was a classic time.
No intent of seeing unless I was on a date.
Yeah, classic. Let's get a quick break. We'll come back. We got Spec. We got LT. We'll wrap up. If you missed all the action today at the Olympics, Connor Allen will give you an update there and more. Like you have guys who have their best performances. You don't get on the podium, but it's unreal. And there's been a lot of those. So we'll talk about some of those as well. But first, let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Buick GMC. You can fall in love with the Buick for the month of February, where you can lease a 2026 Envision all-wheel drive with 0 down and $265 bi-weekly payments, which includes GST. Shop now at northgategm.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Over to Italy, men's ice hockey. Canada beating up on Switzerland 5-1 earlier today. They'll take top spot in Group A. Up next is France Sunday morning, 8:40 a.m. Elsewhere, Czechs doubled up France today, 6-3. It was Finland beating their rival Sweden 4-1, and host Italy fell to Slovakia 3-2. Tomorrow at 8:40 a.m., Canadian women taking on Germany in the quarterfinal. In curling, Canada's men improved to 3-0 in the evening after an 8-6 victory over the defending champion Swedes. Earlier on in the day, they defeated the Americans 6-3. Up next, Switzerland on Saturday. On the flip side, Canadian women falling to the U.S. by a score of 9-8. They'll meet Great Britain in the morning. The Edmonton Oil Kings on the road in Calgary, taking on the Hitmen. Puck drop 7 o'clock. The team's meeting again tomorrow night at Rogers Place. In the VCHL, Spruce Grove on the road in Vernon, while the Crusaders head to Blackfalds. And in the AJ4 games, including Olds up against Bonnyville, Whitecourt in Grand Prairie. And here in the city, the Golden Bears taking on McEwen in a home-and-home tonight down at the Drake. Pandas and Griffins will do the same, but at the DCA this evening. And both volleyball programs going head-to-head as well at the Saville Center tonight at 6, tomorrow at 5. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and the host of the Lowdown with Lowtide, Alan Mitchell. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother had the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Sometimes you think about what you're going to do in the day. Go to work, pick up the kids from school, make supper. But at GS Construction, we think a little differently. Winter is our season to think, to plan, and to improve. We study, we innovate, we train. So when the thaw comes, we're ready to dig, build, and deliver even better, which means we need people like you. If you're thinking about joining the team at GS Construction, now's the time to do it. To apply and to see how we think, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Wow. Get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
It's after 5 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. As always, we appreciate you taking some time with us. If you're driving home, turn your lights on. Get home safe. The weekend is here, boys and girls. Kick back, relax. You've earned it, whatever it is. Maybe maybe a pizza night, whatever your favorite food is. Maybe you earned a beverage of choice. Enjoy. It might be water. Might be maybe you're classing up. A little sparkling water tonight. Who knows? But enjoy it. Also, good luck. PlayAlberta.ca. $50 million up for grabs in Lotto Max. You can get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. It's time now to get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, where they focus on in the community. They do a ton of work, but they also give back where they work, making significant donations to numerous charities. That is GS Construction. As we welcome to the show, Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. And Spec, 2 games, 5 goals each game, 3 points each game for Connor McDavid, and Canada looking kind of like the team we expected them to be.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The Swiss were good. Swiss were a good team, and Czechs were a good team. But I think what this is turning into is Canada's firepower is so strong. They're the like sheer volume of scoring chances they're piling up every game. They're going to get to 3 or 4, like I think every game this tournament. So unless you can do that too, you're not beating Canada, right? I just the amount of chances they poured on that Kira Schmid today. He was great, made tons of great saves, and they still put 5 past him. So, and the same thing for the Czechs. Their goalie was good too. Dostal was excellent, and he gave up 5. So I don't know. Someone's going to have to figure out how to get 5 past a pair of Canadian goalies that have given up 1 so far.
What did you make of the nuclear line of McKinnon, McDavid, Celebrini?
I think they took Wilson off that line because he was getting out hit by McDavid. That was my first thought. The way the games went, the role of Tom Wilson's going to go in the corner, steal a puck, and feed McDavid, and that's how we're going to get a bunch of goals. It's not really working that way. So Tom Wilson I didn't see a ton of chemistry, and I think the other thing was that I think Cooper, just like any coach ever in Edmonton, if you can put 29 and 27 on the same line here, like who's handling that line, Jason? Right?
For a while. Not to mention the Celebrini kid. Yeah, that Celebrini kid's not bad either. So yeah.
And then oh my God, and he's the other guy. Like, Are you kidding me? No one has a better line in the tournament than that. McKinnon and McDavid are the 2 best players in the world. So there's no chance. The USA is an awesome team. They don't have that line. They can't do that. Aren't they 3 of the top 4 scorers in the NHL? Those three guys?
They are. Yeah.
Nobody can put up challenge that. So Cooper's playing a strong hand, man. Good for him.
Yeah. When I look at that line, I also found Suzuki was struggling on the wing, and I wonder, if that played a little factor in it at all. So, you put him back at center to get him maybe going more comfortable. But it's also, hey, you can try different combinations if you're John Cooper here. Why not? You're blowing out a team. Like, it's funny when I look, McDavid only played 14 minutes today.
Yeah.
And it looked like people are like, wow, he was all over the ice. And then people are, oh, that's what the Oilers should do. I'm like, stop. Right? Like, stop. Don't compare. I do chuckle at some things about, I can't believe the coach puts his best 2 players together. Even with an all-star team, the coach still was like, oh, let's try our best 2 players together. So, it happens. But, Binnington's going to go against France. Like, France is going to be a nothing game, let's be honest. I'm not sure you can learn anything from it. But I do think, it's not a complete nothing game because goal for differential will matter. And right now they're +9. And the Americans are +4. They've obviously only played 1 game. They'll play Denmark tomorrow. Then they finish out on Sunday. But their 3rd game against Germany comes after Canada plays. So, like, if Canada gets up on France, I don't see them pulling the reins back because they want to be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, sure. And I don't think that, listen, Canada's a pretty honest team. I mean, and these are the Olympic rules. International hockey, everyone has their head around the fact that when you're Canada playing that last round robin game against France, that you don't call the dogs off when it's 5-0. You keep going. So they'll get their looks. They'll crush France. I mean, this is a chance for Cooper to figure out maybe the rest of his lines. Like, what am I doing with the rest of these guys? I'm not sure they're going to take Celebrini and McKinnon and McDavid apart. I don't know why you would, but maybe you will. If you're elevating from your third line center to second line center, but it's Sid Crosby, I think you can do that. I think Sid Crosby can handle the 2C spot, and they'll beat the crap out of France and probably score 8, won't they?
Oh, I would think so. There's a very good chance that.
What about Kemper? You give him a start, or do you not?
No. Like, I could play him the third period, just to say he got into a game, but you're not rotating 3 goalies, and then now you get to an elimination game, and your starter hasn't played since game 1. To me, you're there to win. It's not everybody gets a participation ribbon. So I know he's probably not going to get challenged, but still, he's facing the puck. He's into it. A little bit. France had some chances. Hey, they had some chances against Czechia. So you know what? I would go with Binnington for sure, at least for 2 periods.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally with you. Let's figure out who the goalie is. Hey, Logan Thompson, the only goal they score on him is a puck that he probably gloves 19 times out of 20 that he missed, hits the crossbar, and lands on Pius Suter's stick. So, they're 1 glove save away from putting up a clean sheet for 6 periods here. So I don't know. I guess if we think Binnington's the incumbent and he needs to get beaten out for the job, like I'm not against that. I think that's fair. But Logan Thompson played every bit as good as Binnington played.
Yeah. No, Thompson was good for sure. I do think that, hey, Binnington pitched the perfect shutout, right? He didn't allow a goal that you're talking about. Well, hey, you know what? The one that Thompson should have. So, and Binnington's the guy who played great in overtime. So I think they're going to stick with him. I don't know if you watched much of the Italy-USA women's game, Spec, and the USA won. But, man, the Italian women were going at them in that game. Like, it was, for a nation, like, hey, you're playing in your home country. There's lots of pride on the line. Like, God, I give them credit. Like, they didn't get humiliated. They didn't get blown out, and they're pushing back in scrums because, hey, the Americans got a few bullies on their team. And I don't say that in a negative way. I think it's still part of hockey that's legal. And the Italians, they push right back, and that they should be pretty happy with their performance. Canada and the U.S. are still on a collision course, but Canada right now looks like the clear underdog in that one. Did you happen to see the Swedish Canada curling? Yeah. Who knew that curling was going to be the one where there was more bleep yous head to head than there were in the hockey game?
Mark Kennedy was the biggest bully at the Olympics today, for sure. Hey, man. It's a weird, I'm not going to tell you I'm a curling expert, but I have watched curling for a million years. Here's the part I don't understand. Maybe you can do it for me. I saw the quotes from, how do we pronounce his last name? Eden, the Swedish skip. Eden? No, yeah. Aiden?
Aiden. I think it's Aiden, but yeah.
Okay. Afterwards, he said, everybody's seen that picture now of Mark Kennedy releasing the stone and then kind of poking it with his finger, right? We've seen that. And it is a hog line violation. He's touching the stone while it's on the hog line. There's no disputing that he's made a violation. But Aiden said, people do this all the time. They do it. They've been doing it for 2 years in all these championships he's played in, and the refs, the officials never call it. So my point is, and I want to know what you think, like when in a normal sport, if I cheat, Jason, and get an advantage over your team, you might be a little bit mad at me, but you're mad at the officials. Don't you say to the officials, hey, call a penalty. This guy's cheating. So why are we mad at each other? What the heck are the officials doing in curling these days?
Yeah, well, it's a fair question. And, we'll have to get Jackie Ray on because, hey, if the skip's saying that this has become now something that, it's like traveling in the NBA. Sometimes you look and say, oh my God, they're not calling it right now. They don't call it on anybody. So if you say they're not calling it on anybody, and I think that you probably get a little bit like, well, wait a sec, you guys are doing the same thing, but you're calling it on us. That's probably a little bit of gamesmanship trying to get in their head a little bit. And I don't mind it at all, man. Like to me, as long as you're not saying anything that's like, racist or anything like that, if you want to try to get guys off their game or gals, I have no problem with it. To me, that's a little bit of sport sometimes. So, you know what? Obviously, they calmed down. It was interesting to see because you don't see that very often in curling.
No. And, the other goofy thing is I can't think that's an advantage. You throw your stone and then you give it a little poke with your index finger. Like, that's not the way to throw.
Well, right? I would think, what if you poke it and it like somehow you get it off its spin, right?
It can't help you, right?
Yeah. That would be
it can't be advantageous to do that. So,
but if they're doing it, it must be. Why else would you do it?
I guess I don't know.
Right? Why would you do it? We'll have to ask any of the curlers out there. Is the finger poke becoming a thing in curling?
I don't know. And I'd love to know how it becomes an advantage. Like, I don't get it. But I did love this. I just read a story before I came on. Greg Strong from Canadian Press wrote about the whole controversy. And the last quote in the story was from Jacobs, the skip. And they talked about how they played the Swedish side for 20 years. They all know each other. And the last quote was, "Hey, if those guys want to go for a beer, we're there 100%.
Well, and then sure, you talk it out and, yell and scream and whatever.
Yeah, and then they go for a cold beer.
But the thing is, the Swedes are probably pretty annoyed because they're the defending champs and they're 0-3.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. I mean, I'm sure there's some frustration on the part of the Swedes. That's one of those things that you don't pay any attention to if you're winning. And if you're losing, you pay a lot of attention to it. And that's just sports. So, you know what? Like, the winner goes to the patch and the loser goes home crying about the officials, and Canada's 3-0. And who do we play next, man?
Yeah. Well, no, that's Canada plays. I think their next game is Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. So
curling's cool because, sorry to interrupt you, curling has really become like, it's not like, I don't know, like women's hockey. We can't get out of this Canada-US thing. Curling is totally the opposite. I remember when I was a younger man, Canada would go to these things and clean up. They don't clean up anymore. Like, there's a ton of good nations now. They've really, really found parity all the way into Asia, right? Chinese and the Japanese are killer good curlers now.
Yeah. No, we talked to Mark and he thought there's lots of teams who could win. He thought there was like 4 that should probably seriously battle for the podium, but one of those was Sweden, and now they're 0-3. So they're going to have a monument. They got the US. That's the next game for them, and that's going to be a tough game. Oh no, sorry, they got China next, then they got the US. So there's no real easy games for them coming up at all.
There used to be a bunch of easy games. Now there's, so good for curling. Like, this is good for sport. We like this. I'm okay. Even this stuff with Team Canada, we're wiping up on Czechia and France and everybody. Like, it's fun to watch. I'm Canadian and it's awesome, but it's going to be better when you're playing someone that has a chance of beating you, don't you think?
Oh yes, yeah. Once you get to lose and you go home, all right, it obviously matters. Matters more for sure. There's no question about that. You look at going back to just the overall Olympic spec. This is now the longest since it was Albertville before that, and now I think it might even be going back to 84 since Canada still hasn't won a gold medal. And it concerns, when does it become a concern here? I know they got some potentials coming up, but potentials and actuals are very different.
Yeah, good question. You know what? There's a lot of individuals here. Speaking, it's like the American figure skater today, the man. He was totally favored to win the thing. And oh my God.
The American. Yeah.
The American. Is that not what I said? Yeah, the American. Yeah. And fell all over the ice and finished. Did he not finish 12th? Eighth or whatever. He was nowhere close. So, stuff happens, man. The Olympics is a totally different animal. And sometimes you get gold medals nobody saw coming. And sometimes you go there, like Canada at the Winters. We think, okay, we should win here. I think we can win there. We got Michael Kingsbury. Ends up not gold, but silver. I mean, no one's going to point a finger because you're silver. You lose by 100th or whatever.
Oh, and a tiebreaker, actually.
In a tiebreaker. He loses a tiebreaker. So there's your gold medal that we didn't get. So stuff happens, man. I don't think we're holding a summit at this point.
No. The thing is, we don't have any, if you look at the projection medals that you think you would win, and there's always some surprises, but doesn't look like there's any tomorrow on the, Kingsbury is up, he's a lot of people think he's got a very good chance in the dual moguls on the 15th. And then the 16th is a day where we have, lots of real good medal potential. You got Naomi Ernest in big air For the women, you got Courtney Sarow in the 1,000 meter short track. You got the Canadian men in the 5,000 meter relay. You have Megan Olman in the big air for freestyle. So, the Canadian women should be pretty good in that one. So we'll obviously get some. I don't know. There's something just different about you get that gold. And then after that, it's just then you go to medal counts and who cares? But it would be nice to get a few golds here soon.
Well, for sure. We're also a team sport nation. We're pretty good in the team sports. Like we're pretty good in curling and we're pretty good in hockey. And those things always play out over the whole Olympics and those medals get awarded right at the very end.
Oh, no. Well, we know the women are going to get a medal. I'd be pretty confident the men are going to get a medal in hockey. The women probably a silver. I think the men have a very good chance for the gold. And kind of the only negative about the gold is you're going to have to get, Spec knowing you on a Saturday night, you'll just be staying up rather than go to bed for that 6 a.m. Sunday morning puck drop, eh?
Is that what it is? 6 a.m. gold medal game?
Yeah, on the 22nd.
Oh, yeah. I'll absolutely I'm not saying I'll stay up all night, but I'll be up for that.
God, you'll be up for it. Are you kidding me? Like people will be going to bars at 6 a.m. because I know lots of places. I was talking to Mo and Dr. Wang at first round in OTR, and they got, you got to get a special license. And so lots of places have them. And, there'll be a lot of people that, Saturday night might be like, you're either going to try to take Saturday night and push it right through, or you'll be like, man, let's get to bed and just start early on a Sunday. It'll be a Sunday fun day for many Canadians across the country.
Yeah, exactly. I think my strategy would be to actually, you got to start Friday night. So you got to go a little bit on Friday and not get much sleep. Then you got to go to bed at about 6 till 8 on Saturday. Then get up, get a meal in you, and go to the bar at like 3:30. That's what you do. Get a first round seat, first row seat, right in front of the TV. Start drinking about 4 for a 6 o'clock start. What about that?
Well, I actually don't think they can serve until 6 a.m. So I don't think they can serve till maybe the doors open at 5. I'd have to look at the actual what time are you able to open the door. That's a good question. I'll find that out for all of our audience because people will make some table reservations early. I just don't think you can. I think there's got to be a time from Saturday night cutoff till Sunday morning start. There's probably like a 2-hour window of no service.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Those people that make these rules, do they ever have any fun in their lives, Jason? Right? What the heck?
Well, for that one, that would be a rarity. And I could see the point of that. Say, hey, you're just going to stay here, but you got to pace yourself. Right. And sadly, Spec, we've all seen the people who can't pace themselves. Right. Yep. So I would just be.
That's why my strategy is so sound. Right.
It's not bad.
Start at 3:30, 4 o'clock on Sunday morning. Get a couple in you before the game starts, and then pace yourself through the game, and it's straight to church after that.
Work, church, and home, Spec. So it's a normal week for Spec. Work, church, and home. So you could play it out very well. So we'll have to. We might have to plan a little Sports 1440 early morning Sunday gathering. Maybe we'll have to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Gregor's deck.
yeah. That I could tell. Not in the wintertime, you jabroni. That won't be any fun. No, that won't be happening. But there's a few places we can arrange it, though.
I wouldn't do. I'd do that.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm leaving that in your capable hands,
buddy. I'm one thing I'm good at. I'm planner, so I can. I've planned many a soirees that have been pretty good. So this one might be early, but it'll still be good. All right. Well, have yourself a great weekend, and we will chat with you on Tuesday. Enjoy Family Day off.
Oh, for sure will. Thanks, Jay. Have a great weekend, everybody.
There you go. That's Mark Spector. Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Any of you bar owners, what's the official word? I might have to text Mo or Wanger and find out exactly what's the ruling from AGLC. So we know that the puck drop is 6 o'clock, but people got to get in there and get a seat. So do you open at 5? I just need to know. Got to plan ahead. Let us know, 833-401-1440. We'll come back. Low Tide will join us. Wonder if he ever did a few all-nighters in Maidstone, Saskatchewan. Guess no, but you never know. We'll return as Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open. The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Mr. Rooter gets a colonoscopy.
All right, Mr. Rooter, just relax. We're almost finished.
Now, what am I looking at on the screen?
That's your large intestine.
Wow, the pipes of the human body. Incredible. This is just like when we use a camera for sewer inspection, except you probably don't find tree roots.
You'd be surprised what we find.
You know, once I found a bunch of Hot Wheels.
Hey, me too.
For a plumber who values healthy pipes, call Mr. Rooter.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
The Friday rolls through. How are you, Jason Gregor? Wanye Gretz. Having a lovely Friday afternoon. Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We can get in the game. While you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show. We always have some odds boost for you. Special picks. Check it out. PlayAlberta.ca. What a pretty good run right now. Not going to lie. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for a vehicle this weekend, got some downtime. Well, they got 15,000 vehicles for you to choose from. 71 different locations, over 31 brand new brands. So any vehicle that tickles your fancy, they will have, and you get great service, goauto.ca. As we welcome in the host of the Lowdown, Alan Mitchell. LT, you ever do an all-nighter at Maidstone?
You mean staying up all night?
Yeah, like at a bar?
Oh God, no! I wasn't old enough. I left when I was 17. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, was. So
But
you didn't have fake ID back then, now?
Oh, I got in the bar, but I didn't stay up all night.
Oh, okay. All right.
Back then, that was one of the places you could buy cigarettes. So everybody, anyway, it was a small town, man. I'm not gonna, there's no criminals in that town. They're all good people.
No. Well, hey, nothing wrong with that, buddy. Everybody's done it every now and then. I get it.
Yeah.
Open it up. I can't say in my lifetime that I never might have stayed in the back room at a certain establishment and, walked out to a taxi cab at 8 a.m. Might have happened, might not have happened multiple times. So it's good stuff. Let's get your thoughts on it's interesting, so John Cooper is like, hey, after penalty kills, let's go with 29 and 97. And you know what? I don't mind this combination. I'm just going to try it for the rest of the game. And then you throw in that youngster Macklin Celebrini, and obviously that line was very good. And Canada was good. I thought Thompson was good. It's like Canada still gave up some chances, which is part of the game. I don't think that, this is. I said at the start of the tournament, I didn't think this would be 2014, where they were just defensive and didn't score very much, but didn't give up anything. Whereas 2010. They set the NHL Olympic record for most goals in the tournament with 35, and this team right now is on pace to kind of tie that because they're scoring 5 goals a game.
Yeah, Utah. You mentioned it on Monday when you're on the lowdown about the Oilers started, or the Canada started with McDavid on one line, but they're trying stuff out, and now they're in the heat of battle, and they're. These guys have gotten more chemistry now, and it's no surprise that skill loves skill. So expect to see more of that for sure. And this is a high octane team. I remember the Mike Babcock teams, and they had great offense too, but Babcock was just so stifling, in terms of the style. Well, they're not running it like that. This is a different team. This is a team that's going to, play to their strengths. And I mean, this is a splendid offensive team. I mean, it just is. Everybody can play, and so it's no wonder to me we're in the round robin period. They're obviously going to have tougher competition as they go into the the elimination games, but holding these guys back is almost impossible. The only way to do it, I think, is if the coaches coach them in a different way, and good for them for letting the horses run here.
Yeah, well, Canada is no surprise. The France game is probably going to be the least traumatic game of the tournament for Canada. It's gonna be a wax job. Let's be honest here. It's probably just going to be a matter of how many points they get. McDavid, the coach, like McKinnon played 14 minutes in game 1. McDavid played 14 minutes in game 2. He rotates around. He doesn't have to use anybody. I think when you get down to the key moments, you're gonna see those guys playing a little bit more as you. Have you seen, what do you make of Szymanski and his 21 minutes in his opening game for Germany and what that could mean long-term for the Oilers?
Well, he played and was good, like in a feature role. He was, I think he was, second most minutes behind Leon among forwards. He was effective. He's he's got some range, Jason, I really like Matt Savoy. I think he's a fine young player. I like Ike Howard. I like Quinn Hudson. Szymanski's just a little different than those guys. A little bigger, can play center, has a little more utility. So I think for the Oilers, not to say that he has more skill than Savoy or say Ike Howard, but he has more utility. He can play more roles. And I think that he's 23 as well. He's a little older as a player. We didn't know him from Adam. He was playing in Germany a year ago, but he's come in here, and I think he's eating some lunch of the, not just the young players, but some of the veterans too. It's only 5 games, but it doesn't look like he's overwhelmed by any stage, the NHL or the Olympics, and that can only be good news for Chris Knobloch and the Oilers.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The only negative in the game today really was the Kevin Fiala, which just was weird. I saw some certified doctor online thinking it might be a hip dislocation, which is wild. Wow. Just because the way he laid on his stomach and stuff like that. He was explaining why, because we were a little like, geez, I've never seen a guy really go out on the stomach on the stretcher. So we'll have to see. But that would be brutal news for the Kings, who, luckily they got Panarin, but now they lose one of their other top 6 forwards. Because, it doesn't look good. The Switzerland coach even said, he goes, he didn't have an official report. He just said, this doesn't look good. So
No, and that really hurts. It's really too bad. I remember Tavares when he was at the Islanders. He at the Olympics got really hurt too, and that nobody wants that. Like nobody wants that. Even if you're an Oilers fan and you don't want the Kings to do well in the playoffs, nobody wants to have a player like of that quality go down.
Yeah. Anything else of the Olympics standing out for you?
The argument that the curlers think, you put Canadians on ice anywhere at the Olympics, and you're going to have a little bit of trouble. a little bit of Kennedy got a little bit into a little bit of a tete-a-tete today, but I've just been really enjoying all of the Olympics, really, honestly. I'm just disappointed. I'm not disappointed, but I feel like it's sipping away, man. It's like we're day 7 or whatever now. It's not over, but holy Hannibal, it's gone quick.
Yeah, it's a quick week for sure.
LT, what do you think is the ultimate goal if you're a Canadian hockey fan? Like, are you gold medal or bust, or are you just happy to be, like, is it USA and Canada in the final, or nothing else will do for you? Where do you stand on this? What's your expectations?
Well, I like to see, I think it comes when you're a little older. When I was younger, I just wanted, somebody to beat the Montreal Canadiens. That's all I really cared about. But I think as you get older, what I'd like to see, I'm not so much worried about, I want to see Canada succeed. It'd be great to see them win a gold medal. But I just want, I want them to compete at the highest level. I think this is terrific for McDavid and Draisaitl. Let the chips fall where they may. I'll be honest, I think Canada has a great chance here historically, and I'm not this is going to sound wrong, and I don't mean it to, but if you look historically at the United States, often something occurs during a major game, and they end up not being able to follow through. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there have been examples in the past of the Team USA getting maybe derailed, or things happening in a game where they lose the cool and are not able to continue or finish the job. We'll see. But I think Canada USA would be a great gold medal game. And if that were to happen, I would pick Canada to win just based on their own past.
Yeah, well, hey, hopefully we get a gold medal here soon. A few other things to look at, Al, around the league. The Winnipeg Jets, Josh Morrissey's not going to play on Sunday. The coach couldn't commit if he was going to return or not, but he said he's hoping he'll be available later, so we'll see. That'd be a tough break for them. But the Jets, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the New Jersey Devils, these are teams that were playoff teams last year. People thought would be playoff teams this year, and none of them look like they're going to be playoff teams. Probably even throw in Florida. Now, injuries are a reason for them, but those are some teams that, like, the Logan Stanley, trading him if you're the Jets, to me doesn't make sense. You don't win with small defense. He's starting to emerge as a player now. You've developed him. You got to sign him. And like even Toronto, like I get why other teams, including Edmonton, would want Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Why the hell would if Toronto trades him for younger prospects? That makes no sense to me. He's one of their best defensemen, and he only makes $3.5 million. Getting rid of him would just push them further away from being competitive.
Logan Stanley is, I remember when he was drafted, I was just astounded by his size. And I don't know that the Oilers were in on him, but I think they were. I think he would have been the kind of defenseman they liked. And you're right, it's taken him forever. I've always cheered for him. I've always thought he was, the kind of guy that Chara wasn't great until he was in the league a little bit. And I'm not saying he's Chara, but I'm saying those kinds of big guys, sometimes it takes them a little longer. And he's having a hell of a year. The Jets could get a lot for him. But on the other hand, you've drafted and developed that guy. Probably a good idea to keep him. And as far as the Leafs are concerned, they are so thin on defense. I think trading McMahon makes sense, but if they've got a good defenseman, I would keep him. Get him under contract, keep him under contract, because the Leafs really did. They had a hard time on defense this year. They had to pick up Stetcher on waivers. If you don't have enough defensemen this year, then you keep all the guys that you like for next year, and then maybe add to it. Don't deal at the deadline unless you're getting at a King's ransom, and I don't think you will at this year's deadline.
The other thing that wasn't talked about a lot, but Andrea Glauser, who McDavid hit behind the net, he didn't return in that game. His coach said after the game, they think he's out. He suffered a concussion. Like, McDavid's had 2 games, he's had 2 pretty big hits so far. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I've never seen him hit before. I'm like, do you guys not watch? Like McDavid's delivered some big hits. He doesn't hit a ton, but because he's such a good skater, he can deliver big checks. We've seen it in the playoffs at times. This is the intensity that McDavid is playing with right now. It illustrates like just the Olympics mean a lot to a lot of guys. And I think for him, it means a whole lot more. Like he desperately wants to win this, and he's showing it with his point totals, with his physical play, everything.
Oh yeah. And he's like, I always have this conversation with people, like, they're still talking about, getting somebody to play on McDavid's line as an enforcer. Long ago, McDavid decided that he had to do it himself. And he cross-checks, he trips, he plays very physically. He gives no quarter. And we're seeing that. And you're right. I mean, Jason, you're absolutely right. He is playing at a level now where there's I wouldn't call it like desperation or even quiet desperation, but I'd call it, he set his jaw and he is determined. And on every shift the point total is one thing, but the hard hits, and he's skating like the wind. He's shot out of a cannon every shift. It's fun to watch, and the motivation level must be off the absolute charts for him. And I'm sure Cooper's just going, man, just get him back out there. It's fun to watch, though. He really is such a unique, spectacular player. I'm just so happy that I get to see him in this. He was robbed of the opportunities in 18 and 22. It's great that he's got this chance in 26.
Well, Al, it's interesting. I see a lot of Oilers fans, fans of like Vancouver and Calgary, like, God, it feels odd to cheer for McDavid. Well, I was laughing today when Sam Bennett got away with a clear penalty, and Canadian fans like, what? No, this is okay now. It's okay now. I just don't like it in the NHL.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that works. Okay. We're fine with that. We'll go back to hating them after the Olympics are over. But I noticed that a lot of Oiler fans who are also obviously fans of Canada were pretty thrilled with Drew Doughty's physicality too, especially in the Czechia game. That's a guy who has been, going back forever against the Oilers. He has been an absolute bull against them. And it's fun to be able to cheer some of those hits and those borderline filthy plays by Doughty.
Al, enjoy the weekend. What, how many goals do you spot Canada over France?
Oh, God. Is 11-1 too bad? I mean, is that too much? Or do they call off the dogs? I don't know, but it's going to be. I mean, it's like at some point in time. I mean, you just roll lines, right? Like you just will. There's just no reason to not do that. But it's going to be scary. Scary, I'll say.
Al, have yourself a wonderful day. We will chat with you on Tuesday.
Boys, have a great weekend.
That is Al Mitchell, a.k.a. Low Tide. We'll return. We got the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
There's a lot of great seasons in Alberta. Hockey season, harvest season, the winter season, and the even more winter season. But GS Construction is already preparing for our next great season, because while the city slows down, we plan ahead. Projects, people, and pipelines. Everything starts taking shape for another strong year underground. We're also getting ready for our next hiring season in March. We want new people who want to build something that lasts. For more on us and to apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal on a dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom, too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at The Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Edmonton Mall, Northside, and downtown.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken snack wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Considering an EV, Subaru is the right choice. Discover their latest electric vehicle innovations, starting with the brand new Solterra, in stock and ready to test drive. Or the Trail Seeker, an EV at its core, a Subaru at heart, and built for adventure. Or the Uncharted This Sporty, all-new small compact SUV brings new levels of driving enjoyment to the all-electric space. Right now, Subaru is offering interest rates as low as 0.49%. Welcome to electric. Welcome to Subaru.
Okay, there's still time to swing by Bunches Flowers for a showstopper bouquet that feels thoughtful, personal, and unforgettable. It's the family-owned Edmonton florist that knows how to deliver romantic flair and big smiles. BunchesFlowers.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
547, welcome back. Positive Friday. Gregor, Hallie, Wanye Gretz, of course, Declan Cougar running things. Give him a thumbs up, give him a hello on our YouTube page or Facebook. It's always nice. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. $50 million. If you're feeling lucky today, just remember, one of you win, tell us, you invite us to the party. Because if we win, we'll have multiple parties. That's the deal. It's the deal on the show. Eventually, one day, it'll happen. So, PlayAlberta.ca. Every Friday, we get to the 2-minute warning, of course, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter, legacyheating.ca. Of course, the 2-minute warning, Cam Tate's baby. Cam, of course, born with cerebral palsy. Cam's in wheelchairs, never let him slow it down. And his words come to life in the 2-minute warning. On Friday, I get the honor of reading Cam's 2-minute warning. Cue the music, con man. Fair warning, my friend. The following is a shameless plug. Cam has been speaking about living with a disability since a 4-H meeting in Camrose. That was in 1981. Every 5 years or so, I revamp it with a new theme, a new message, and a new look. In the fall, my good friend Matt Job helped me produce a 45-minute hockey-themed presentation. We use hockey terms to tell my story. For example, my cerebral palsy was caused because I did not take my very first breath until I was 17 minutes old. In hockey terms, I began my life with a 2-minute minor, 5 for fighting, and 10-minute misconduct. Basically, Tater was cheap from birth. The show includes footage from a 1966 CBC documentary on my parents and the 116 volunteers who came for 5 minutes every week for 5 years to help exercise me in something called a pattern. Without a word of a lie, my folks and our volunteers did 14,600 patterns over 5 years. In hockey terms, keeping in mind a hockey game is 60 minutes in length, we did the equivalent of playing 1,218 games. Never made the power play once. But as a 10-year-old, I could sit up, open and close my hands, eventually standing up, and I began to talk. My late wife always said I haven't shut up. But the real challenges began as an adult. My college instructor told me I'd never work in the media in my life. This is year 47, and I'm closing in on 5,000 newspaper stories published. The guy that ran Yuck Yuck's amateur night in 1994 didn't want to put me on stage because of my speech. One of my bits is the reason I talk funny is I'm from Calgary. 5 months later that night, I did a set at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. The auto visual part is voiced by my friend of 30 years, Ron McLean. Now, this isn't all about me, Cam Tate. It's a story of family, friends, even complete strangers who have believed in my dreams and chipped in. I share those tools with my audience, and our family is donating one of my presentations to the world's longest hockey games online auction. You can make a bid by going to my X feed at Cam Tate. Again, at Cam Tate. We now return you to your regularly scheduled broadcast. See a 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. And I did not know that story of his parents and 116 volunteers who came for 5 minutes every week for 5 years. Known Tater for, almost 2 decades. I never knew that. That's it's pretty powerful stuff, man. So you need a lot of people that can help someone achieve success. And Tater, as much as we love juicing each other, he's a big inspiration for us here at the station. And I would tell anybody out there, if you want Cam you want one of those packages at your company and you want to be inspired, go bid on it. You will not be disappointed. It'll be great for you. Plus, you can help raise some money for the world's longest game. So check it out at the world's longest game auction and Tater's X feed. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's all good. Hey, the world's longest game, they're rolling. They're going to get a little bit cold weather here. Probably will help them with the quality of the ice. Maybe not with their feet. Not going to get too cold. Luckily, they're going to finish just in time. So they made it through the hardest part. And now, if we look at the weather leading up to, because they're going to finish on Monday, it looks like they're going to get through it pretty good. It's starting to warm up a bit. I mean, to cool down a bit, like overnight. The coldest night's going to be Monday at -13, but it's -4 tonight, -8 on Saturday night, -10 on Sunday. That's perfect for shinny hockey. Then they'll finish up, and then boom, perfect timing because it gets down to -24, -25 on Tuesday. So that's some good karma there.
There's been years it's been bone chilling cold for those guys.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, we like 1 year it was the wind. It was the wind. Like lots of guys got frostbite. Like one guy, a few guys lost a toe or two. Like it was no joke.
What?
Oh yeah, like no joke, man. So that is because when you're committed out there, and the team that was playing into the wind is what got it more, right? So that's not ideal. But if you're looking for something to do on the weekend, if you can check out Sakers Acres for the world's longest game. It'll be very inspiring to see the men and women out there. They're raising lots of money. Every donation now is doubled for the next few days here, up to $100,000. So somebody's willing to, an anonymous donor was willing to match up to $100K. So you know what? You get, do the math. You get 200 people to do $500. There you got your $100K, and somebody's going to match it. And boom, you're at 200. So hey, get 1,000 people doing $100. Pretty easy. You can raise a lot of money, which is nice. So that's something to check out this weekend. Of course, more Olympic action going on. We got some medal hopes in a few events. Mainly coming up on Sunday, and then Monday is the day where Canada could hit a lot of medals again. So hopefully maybe get a few surprise ones in between. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, everyone. Please do not drink and drive. Don't weed and drive. Get home safe. Have lots of fun. Have a fantastic family day. I hope you get to spend time with your family and friends on Monday. On behalf of Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, Cam Tate, I'm Jason Gregor. We will chat with you on Tuesday. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by meals.loca.ca. If you're looking for great food, healthy food, 2 locations, one in Sherwood Park, one in West Edmonton. Even better, online, they will deliver right to your door. Meals.loca.ca. Good night.
Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, great day for Canada in Italy, knocking off Switzerland 5-1 in men's ice hockey with that take top. Group A up next, France on Sunday, 8:40 a.m. The Czechs double up France 6-3 today. Finland beats rival 4-1, and it was host Italy falling to Slovakia 3-2. Tomorrow, 8:40, Canadian women taking on Germany in the quarterfinals. In curling, Canada's men improving to 3-0, knocking off Sweden 8-6 and the Americans 6-3. For them, they'll be back at it tomorrow, taking on Switzerland. On the flip side, the Canadian women fell to the U.S. by a score of 9-8. They'll meet Great Britain tomorrow morning. In the WHL, the Oil Kings head to Calgary tonight, taking on the Hitmen. Puck drop at 7. They'll meet again tomorrow at 7, also against Calgary. In the BCHL, Spruce Grove on the road in Vernon, while the Crusaders head to Blackfalds. In the AHL. 4 games, including Olds hosting Bonneville and Whitecourt in Grand Prairie. At the collegiate level, Golden Bears hockey taking on McEwen in a home tonight down at the Drake. Pandas and Griffins doing the same, but at the DCA this evening, and the local volleyball programs going at it as well. The Saddle Center tonight gets going in about 5 minutes. Tomorrow, just after 5. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, we've got Fox Sports Radio all night long. Tomorrow morning, Saturday Sports Setup, 9 a.m., followed by Hoop City with Paul Sir. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
KFA Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio